Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Phoenix, Arizona at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, where the Michigan Wolverines, the number 8 team in the country, will finish today's doubleheader against the number 3 team in the land, the Arizona State Sun Devils. Hi, I'm Sean Salehi, joined alongside Alex Drain here on WCBN Sports, and we are excited to bring you tonight's nightcap of a doubleheader in which Michigan, so far, 2-0 in their trip to the Valley of the Sun, knocking off the number 1 team in the land, Vanderbilt, last night by a score of 4-3. And then earlier this afternoon, in Game 2 of the MLB4 Collegiate Baseball Tournament, they beat Cal Poly 8-5, but it got close there at the end, Alex.
Yeah, it did, and, there were a few moments where it seemed like it was going to get a little bit closer, and Cal Poly had the bases-loaded winning run at the plate in the bottom of the ninth, 8-5, and Cam Weston closed it out. Michigan led wire to wire in that game, but there were some scary moments. It was a bullpen day, but this game tonight will not be a bullpen day. Michigan will be starting Steve Hadger, a redshirt freshman who was expected to be potentially the midweek starter a year ago, but he tore his ACL in the offseason before his freshman campaign playing basketball, and now he is back for a redshirt freshman season. This is the first glimpse Michigan fans will get of Hadger. We did see him in fall ball. He started against Vanderbilt, was very sharp, collected a few strikeouts and I believe 3 innings of work, and now he gets one of college baseball's most fearsome offenses to be his first test in regulation action. But worth noting, of course, that Arizona State hasn't had a lot of success offensively yet this year, including a really disappointing 3-hit, 1-run performance up against Villanova this afternoon.
Yeah, no, absolutely. ASU considered to be one of the top teams in the country, especially when it comes to offensively, and that has a lot to do with, similar to Vanderbilt, having a star player, in fact, perhaps the best player in all of college baseball, Spencer Torkelson, the first baseman, number 20 for Arizona State. They call them torque bombs here in Arizona State, and that's when the ball goes really, really far towards the Papago Mountains. And he was the only source of offense for Arizona State in today's game earlier against the Wildcats of Villanova. Just 1 home run for Spencer Torkelson, and outside of that, nothing going for the Sun Devils. They really pride themselves on having a lot of offensive power through their bats. Guys like Alika Williams, Gage Workman, Sam Ferry, Trevor Harver, and obviously Spencer Torkelson. And they weren't able to come up with any of that against the Villanova Wildcats. Just a couple of hits and a couple of errors, driving in 1 against a team that has averaged 35 losses the last decade. Definitely not what Tracy Smith and company have expected in this opening series, but they have a chance to bounce back if they can beat a very hot Michigan Wolverines team tonight.
Well, and you look at Arizona State, they're a team that ranked number 3 in the Baseball America poll, but a lot of reason to be skeptical of that ranking. A lot of sort of hope going into that ranking, I think, because you look at Arizona State a year ago, they finished, I believe, right around 30 in RPI. They did not make it out of the regional. I mean, that was not a team a year ago that was a top 10 team, but a lot of people thinking that they're going to be a lot better this year because of maturation with that hitting lineup, but they're going to need some help from the pitching staff. Pitching very rough last season for Arizona State, and they're starting a freshman, Cooper Benson, out there today. Now, Benson, really highly touted recruit, 9.5 out of 10 grade on perfect game, but this is his first test. It's against a Michigan team that's playing really well right now, and be definitely a revealing game here tonight for these two teams. I think if Michigan can win this, they will be 3-0 and feeling really good about themselves. Arizona State would be feeling pretty bad after would be losing 2 games today, whereas if the Sun Devils can salvage the day by winning tonight, then things look a little bit better.
Well, we will see how things play out here in the nightcap of beautiful Phoenix Municipal Stadium here in Phoenix, Arizona. Just a 15-minute drive from Salt River Fields at Talking Stick, where Michigan has played their previous 2 games here in the Valley of the Sun. So not a very far drive, but as we had to in our little car, the bus had to book it over here, and they actually ended up pushing the game back by 30 minutes. Is there any concern at all perhaps about fatigue, especially when it comes to a team that just came off of the field a couple hours ago?
I think you can make that case, but these are baseball players. They've played 2 games in a day before in their lives, no question. But obviously, it's a lot of high-intensity games. You play that game last night against a really good Vanderbilt team, takes a lot out of you, and then a pretty long game here this afternoon against Cal Poly. So questions, yeah, but they're going to try and ride their young arm and Stephen Hadger to be the hope as the Sun Devils taking the field. You hear that PA very loud in the background.
Well, this is a very packed ballpark tonight for this top 10 matchup. Phoenix Municipal Stadium, one of the nicest parks in all of America, especially on the West Coast. It is the former spring training home of the Oakland A's, and even before that, the San Francisco Giants. If you want a little nugget of information, Alex, I know you'll enjoy this. If you see at the top of all of these light fixtures, they have a little bit of rust to them. Well, the reason is they're from the original Polo Grounds. They actually, I can't remember exactly why, but they shipped them over all the way out here to Phoenix, Arizona, and fixed them up a little bit, and they are the original Polo Ground lights fixtures from New York.
Definitely interesting touch. I just looked up on Google Maps to see the territorial limits of Phoenix City proper. They actually carve out this stadium right on the edge of the city limits. Where we parked is in Tempe.
Yep, it's pretty wild. And they will correct you, believe me.
Yeah.
I have made that mistake before. This is Phoenix, not Tempe. I'm sure if it was originally ASU's stadium, they would have kept it in Tempe, but, Phoenix wants to have as much as they can to their credit, and why not? It's a beautiful ballpark. 334 down the right field line, 333 down the left field line, 395 to dead center. It actually used to be 345 even down each line and 410 to dead center. But not many people were hitting the ball out of the yard here in this ballpark outside of guys like Spencer Torkelson, so they ended up moving up all of the fences here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and we are just about ready to get underway here in this top 10 matchup between the Michigan Wolverines at number 8 and the number 3 team in the nation, the Arizona State Sun Devils. Your lineup tonight for Michigan. Leading off once again is Jordan Wogu in center, followed by Jack Blomgren at shortstop, and then Joe Donovan at behind the plate at catcher. Matt Schmidt moving up the lineup from his previous 2 games at first. Riley Bertram now at second. Clark Elliott behind him and right. Danny Zimmerman fills in and left. Jimmy Obertomp, the designated hitter, and then rounded off by Ted Burton. Matt Schmidt moving up in the lineup a little bit, perhaps well-deserved following his good performances earlier on throughout this tournament.
Yeah, and we're not sure what the availability is of Dominic Clementi. He exited that game early, and now Danny Zimmerman starting in his spot here tonight, so don't seem too optimistic about that. And, with his bat out of the lineup, then you kind of need some more pop in the middle, and Schmidt's going to fill that spot.
Jordan Wogu is ready to take the first pitch from Benson, and it is a ball high and inside, a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Misses for ball 1.
Yeah, Wogu so far this season, between the 2 games, 5 for 8 at the plate. He's got on a few times with walks, too.
An 88-mile-an-hour two-seam fastball finds the zone and draws a swing and a miss from Wogu. 1-1 the count. Cooper Benson on the mound, like you said, a freshman. This is his first career start out of St. Louis Obispo, California. As he winds and delivers a ball that is sliced down the first base line, Torkelson backs up and makes the play for out number 1.
Well, the interesting thing about San Luis Obispo, California, that's the home of Cal Poly.
Yep. Cal Poly slow, as they call it.
And Michigan will be back out there to face the Mustangs in a couple weeks for some more games.
Well, that'll bring on Jack Blomgren. Cooper Benson, 6 foot, 200 pounds. One of the premier pitching prospects in the country during his 3-year varsity career at St. Louis Obispo High School. Had a 28-5 record in 46 appearances during his high school days. Delivers the first pitch fastball right in there for strike 1. He was 9-3 as a senior with an 0.59 ERA with 4 complete games and 4 shutouts. The 0-1 delivery, a breaking ball that bounces off of Sam Ferry, the catcher's chest protector. and falls short of the plate, so that'll be ball one, count even at 1 apiece. First pitch time here in the desert, 6:37 Mountain Time. That is 8:37 Eastern Time. Benson kicks in, delivers a good fastball. Low in the zone, draws a swing and a miss. Strike 2. Blomgren coming off a decent effort. Had 4 hits in the Cal Poly game. Was able to come around and score twice in that 8-5 victory. Benson winds up and delivers the 1-2 fastball outside at 91. It's typically around where Benson's going to sit, is low 90s for the fastball, but he has some great movement with his breaking ball. Two-two offering, swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Yeah, way late on that swing was Blomgren. Not a great plate appearances right there.
And strikeout number 1 for Cooper Benson in his college career comes against the second batter he faces. That'll bring up the catcher Joe Donovan, who for some reason in the lineups has his name in all caps. He's obviously of importance to Arizona State media. Donovan also had a pretty darn good game earlier this afternoon. First pitch from Benson, a fastball that's in there for strike 1. Reached base 5 times, racking up. Pardon me, I was reading the wrong thing. That's a foul tip. I was reading Blomgren's stat line. Donovan reached base twice and came around to score both times. Had an RBI single in the game against Cal Poly. Counts 0-2 with 2 away. Benson kicks and delivers a ball that is hit back into the screen.
Unfortunately, we're too low to probably get anything out of the air.
Yeah,
here.
the nets are pretty high here, and the press box is relatively low in comparison. Count still 0-2. Here's Benson's delivery. Swing and another foul back. This one's going to leave the stadium. In the right field, they just added a brand new multi-million-dollar hitting facility for Arizona State, and they've actually also connected it to the concourse, so there's now Coors Light Devil Deck, where a couple of fans can sit in foul territory. The 0-2 swing and a fly ball into center field. Moving under it is Marshall, and he will make the catch for out number 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Cooper Benson in his first half inning of college baseball, and Wolverines come up scoreless their first time up. They'll go to the bottom of the first here on WCBN.
Yeah. Pretty good inning there from Benson. Seemed to be commanding the zone well. And, yeah, you think about all the damage that the top 3 for Michigan in the lineup did against Cal Poly this afternoon. That's a good sign for Benson. He was able to get through them the first time. And now we'll get to see the first of Stephen Hadger out there for Michigan.
Hadger, as you mentioned, expected to be the midweek starter, getting his first action this season here against Arizona State. So far, Michigan has had a pretty good offensive output, but an even better defensive showing throughout the MLB4 showcase. Very few errors, especially none in that first game against number 1 Vanderbilt. A couple of slip-ups, mostly on bunts, and then in the outfield here in game 2 of that tournament earlier this afternoon. Again, your defensive arrangement for the Michigan Wolverines: in left is Zimmerman, center Wogu, right Elliott, and third from left to right, Burton at third, Blomgren at short, Bertram at second, Schmidt at first, and then Donovan behind the plate with Hadger standing on the bump. Your lineup for the Arizona State Sun Devils: second baseman Drew Swift will lead things off right in front of the very scary and all-powerful bat of Spencer Torkelson, a first baseman. Then he'll be followed by fellow preseason All-American Alika Williams. Gage Workman It was another projected top, potentially 3-round draft pick for the Sun Devils this upcoming MLB draft. He'll be at third, and he's batting fourth. Nate Baez will be the designated hitter. Trevor Harver in left. Sam Ferry, the catcher. Miles Denson in right, and then Danny Marshall, the center fielder, hitting in the 9 spot. Well, there's a lot of power in this lineup, and they didn't show a lot of it early on in today's matchup against Villanova. We'll be looking to try to make that change here in the nightcap against the Michigan Wolverines. Up first is Drew Swift. Swift batted .265 last season with 20 RBIs. He went 2 for 2. That's not right, actually. They're having a conversation right now before the first pitch is thrown.
And the crowd here a little riled up about that.
Swift went 0 for 4 actually today. That sounds a lot more correct, as the first pitch is delivered from Hadger for a strike, a fastball at 91 on the outside edge, 0-1. Swift unable to get on base in the earlier game against the Wildcats. Will try to do differently here, batting currently .125 now on this short season. Swings and fouls one back into the screen and quickly in the 0-2 hole. Swift, a player that has struggled a little bit for the Sun Devils over his career, but has started to settle into his role as the everyday second baseman and has a pretty great glove, just working on the bat as he swings and misses there. And a 3-pitch strikeout for Hadger.
Yeah, nasty delivery there. Hadger, coming out of high school from the Massachusetts area, he was the number 117 prospect in the country, and a 10 out of 10 grade on perfect game. He was the crown jewel of that recruiting class for Michigan, and they were really disappointed they had to wait a year to see him, but here he is, gets a 3-pitch strikeout to start it off, and now he gets to face Torkelson.
This will be the money matchup of the evening. Spencer Torkelson takes the first pitch strike at 92 so far this season. Pretty average, hitting .500, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. See if we see a torque bomb here tonight, as Hadger requests a repeating of the signs from behind the plate from Donovan. Comes set, kicks and delivers the 0-1, and that ball trails inside at 82 miles an hour for ball 1. Temperature starting to drop here in Phoenix as the sun has set. Currently 66 degrees in the Valley of the Sun. People still filing in as there's a swing and a high pop-up that's going to tail out of play from Torkelson. Somebody's going to get a nice souvenir. Ooh, and it looks like it potentially spilled someone's beer, so that's less than ideal. Torkelson will step out of the box and then right foot to left, back in, tap the plate a couple of times, then rest that huge stick on his right shoulder. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Big cut from Torkelson, but can't make contact, and he is retired, 2 down.
Yeah, Hadger got him with the nasty off-speed stuff right there, and Torkelson was looking for the fastball, and a very goofy swing.
Alika Williams now comes up to the plate. He's named a preseason All-American.
Yeah, he had .333 a year ago, .429 on base, not a ton of power, but 53 RBIs last year.
16 multi-RBI game as he takes the first pitch fastball above the zone for ball 1. He's the most productive hitter for ASU when it came to men on base, especially when the bases were juiced, going 7 for 14 with 16 RBIs. The 1-0, breaking ball, catches the bottom part of the zone at 79 miles an hour, 1-1. Hadger comes set and delivers a swing and a foul back. That one's going to leave the stadium. Counts 1-2. Williams kind of quiet coming onto the scene initially as a Sun Devil, as the 1-2 pitch, swing and a foul tip back in towards the Michigan dugout. He stays alive, but started to really establish himself last year, and then also was invited to be a part of Team USA in the summer. He really blossomed into the player that a lot of people, especially scouts, believe he can be here in his junior campaign. 1-2 pitch, swing and another foul back. A good out bat here coming from Aliko Williams, making Hadger work.
Well, the top of the order for Arizona State, first 4 hitters are all juniors. This is a more veteran top of the lineup, and obviously that is a big, big reason why Arizona State was seen as a preseason top 5 team by some polls.
1-2 swing and a chopper over to the left side. It's grabbed up by Blumgren. Throw across the diamond just in time. Beat him by a step. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Steve Hadger. 6 up, 6 down through this ball game here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and we head to the top of the second, still scoreless.
Well, if we're looking at 2 pitchers making their first collegiate start, both passed the test, at least in the first inning.
Yeah, pretty good. Especially for Hadger. 2 swinging strikeouts. 1 strikeout for Cooper Benson. And it'll be interesting to see how each of these teams work with their pitchers going here tonight and how their bullpens will be organized. We noticed a couple of guys that just did not make an appearance for Michigan earlier today, trying to save those arms here for tonight.
You'd have to think Benjamin Kaiser and Isaiah Page are both probably available. They both threw quite a bit last night, but you have to think that Eric Bakich will sell out to try and get another top 10 win on the weekend.
Absolutely.
And pad that resume. Because for Michigan, you know, last year they just struggled to barely get in the tournament and then went on that run. You look at this year's team, if they can start stronger and bank some wins early in the season, it's not crazy to think that you could have an Ann Arbor regional.
Absolutely not. I mean, you knock off 1 and 3 early on in the season, I'd say that's a successful trip down west.
Well, especially because Michigan is not at full strength right now. They're without one of their better power hitters and starting center fielder Jesse Franklin, as well as their closer Willie Weiss. And now if Clementi's banged up, this is a team playing with a couple fingers tied up, you might say.
And we are ready to resume action here in the top of the second, as taking a first pitch strike is the first baseman Matt Schmidt. Schmidt last game earlier this afternoon went 1 for 4 with a walk as well and 2 strikeouts. He had an RBI to his credit. Makes a fastball just outside, counts even at 1 apiece. And I noticed here, since it's something that's new, at least for me coming to the stadium over the years, there is another pitch clock here. I thought perhaps that was just a spring training thing, but there's one in left center field here at Phoenix Muni as well. There's a fastball on the inside edge, called strike 2. Doesn't appear, though, that they're really enforcing it, as we saw earlier during the tournament.
Well, there really wasn't a lot of pitchers that ran into trouble with it.
A 1-2 pitch, called strike 3. Fastball finds the zone, and that's the second K for Cooper Benson.
Yeah, just froze him. Schmidt looked at it, knew it right away. But yeah, I mean, right there, Benson was winding up with 10 on the pitch clock.
There were rumors that it was going to be Tyler Thornton, who transferred from St. Mary's, that was going to start on the bump for Arizona State. Instead of giving Cooper Benson a very tough first test, as that one is poked foul by Riley Bertram.
Bertram still looking for his first hit of the season. 0 for 9 so far on the year. He's reached base quite a few times through errors, however.
Again, Michigan trying to get off to a hot start here earlier in this ball game. That's a fastball that misses outside to even the count at 1 apiece. Are able to do that successfully against Cal Poly Slow, putting 3 runs on the board in the first inning. as the 1-1 swing and a foul back, heads up, everybody. And that one you could feel thump on the roof here in the press box at Phoenix Municipal.
You couldn't really feel it.
Oh, I felt it a little bit, at least in my feet.
Still no score in this one.
And people still filing in. This has got to be a packed house. 1-2 swing, and that one is shot straight back up the middle. It'll be picked up by Williams. Swing over to Torkelson in time for out number 2. Chopper right back up the middle. Gloved by Aliko Williams and flipped it over to his fellow preseason All-American Torkelson. 2 down. Here, Clark Elliott will come up for the Wolverines. Elliott reached on a fielder's choice and then grounded into a double play while also having a hit to his credit and a walk earlier this afternoon against Cal Poly. So looking for his second hit rather of the season. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Two-one delivery, swing, and a fly ball trailing into left field. Getting under it is Trevor Harver, and he will make the catch on the run for out number 3. So 6 up, 6 down for Cooper Benson. Steve Hadger will try to respond with another 1-2-3 inning of his own as we head to the bottom of the second.
Yeah, good pitching so far from Cooper Benson. Michigan not getting great swings right now. This might be more of a pitcher-oriented game. We'll see what Hadger has to offer here in the bottom of the second, but so far no base runners through 1.5.
Michigan able to ride the strong performance of Blake Beers, who went 3 perfect first innings.
Yep.
9 up, 9 down. Things started to kind of come unhinged later in his appearance, but still struck out 5, only allowed 2 runs. Neither of them were earned on 4 hits. So a strong performance for someone who perhaps wasn't really even expecting to go that far. He had never been that far in his career. Hadger continues to warm up. We'll see how many more he has left. Approaching the 7 o'clock hour here in the Valley of the Sun. Sean Slahy alongside Alex Drain. Happy to bring you some Michigan baseball here in 2020. It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's been a fun weekend. Michigan would love to have it end on a real happy note. Truth be told, even if they somehow fall to UConn tomorrow, it would still be a successful weekend.
Well, and that's
if they come out on top tonight.
That's why you can sell out to get the win today, is that you're going to play UConn 3 more times next weekend. You know, if you play a team 4 times in a row, and UConn's a pretty solid squad, you're probably going to lose 1. This is college baseball. And if that one has to be the game tomorrow because you beat a top 10 team here tonight, you take that trade-off.
ASU wearing its alternate pinstripe uniforms tonight. They have a couple of alternates at their disposal.
Pinstripes are almost always good.
Yeah. That's interesting because usually the standard crest for Arizona State baseball is the A with the S interlocking, and that is what's on the caps and helmets of the Sun Devils. But these are throwback uniforms for the pinstripes, and it just has the block letters of ASU down in a diagonal pattern. There is a chopper over to Burton at third. He'll pick it up and swing it across the diamond in time for out number 1. That was hot off the bat of Gage Workman, 1 down.
Well, and now Hadger's pitched through Torkelson, Williams, and Workman, 3 guys all seen as first or second round picks. And he's gotten through it unscathed. No base runners so far. That's a good first sign.
And Hadger so far only at 14 pitches. Cruised through that first inning. Would love to do it again here in the second. First pitch, a strike fastball delivered to Nate Baez, the designated hitter. The 0-1 swing and a chopper that stays just fair down the first base line. That'll be scooped up by Schmidt, who will tap the bag in time for out number 2. So very quickly, 2 down here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah.
We are cruising.
I mean, right now Hatcher isn't having to throw a whole lot, and there's no real hard contact. That one from Workman, a little bit harder hit, but still a pretty solid ground ball and an easy play.
Michigan got in a hurry to get out of Scottsdale, and they haven't hit the brakes yet.
Well, now it's Hoffer, and with 13 homers a year ago, he's another power bat in this order. The 22 from Torkelson last year, 23 rather, and then Hunter Bishop hit 22. He's gone now to the Giants.
Yep.
But still plenty of power in the order.
First pitch misses outside to Harvard, so here is the 1-0 delivery. Fastball inside edge, called strike 1.
Yeah, Harvard tried to sell it there by bending straight up.
Oh, this is my favorite guy in all of Arizona. He is a concession man. I forgot his name. I've actually seen him at a UCLA Arizona State game as well, as that breaking ball dives what appeared to be in the zone, but it's called high ball 2. Yeah, his famous line is bottled water, kettle corn, lemonade, lemonade like grandma made. He works Diamondbacks games. Oh, gotta get it, lemonade. Right. Here's the 2-1 swing and a fly ball heading into foul territory down the third baseline. Having to make a run at it, but not able to get there in time is Burton.
Yeah, that was a long, long run, and it just kind of fell where neither Burton or Zimmerman could get it. If it hung up a little bit longer, they were probably going to get there, but not quite. And it hops up onto those seats that are covered by, is that tarp over there?
Yes, so it's like they, down the left field line, they have about 4 or 5 sections of additional seats that they cover up for almost every game unless it's almost guaranteed to be a sellout, which we are approaching here. Or the University of Arizona ASU matchup, and that is a breaking ball that misses just outside.
That was a pretty good pitch, tailing away from the lefty Hoffer, and really tough take right there, but he's still alive, and now the count runs full.
Unfortunately, we do not get the see where the pitch landed as the payoff pitch swing and a foul back. That one's definitely heading to the parking lot. Head up, everybody.
This is not the MLB4 tournament. This is just a random one game between these teams.
Harvard, one of the best left-handed bats in the lineup for the Sun Devils. 3-2 pitch swing and a fly ball tailing foul. That one's going to go off of those tarps in left field and bounce actually back into the field of play. Somebody's going to tell.
Zimmerman's going to have to go get it.
Yeah, he's going to pick it up, hopefully swing it over to a couple of kids who have run down, and instead he's going to throw it back to the Michigan dugout. No free souvenirs from the Wolverines tonight. Well, Harvard will step back in and await the payoff pitch once more. 2 down here in the bottom of the second. 3-2. Breaking ball, and it's just low.
That was one of those fascinating ones where Hoffer is going down to first and Donovan's walking off the field.
I think they both thought that it was their way.
I mean, that's if you're going to give up a walk, that's a really good pitch to give up a walk on, right on the edge. Makes the hitter think about it. Maybe a different umpire, you get that call, but not tonight from Travis Renninger, and now the first base runner of the game for either team.
So this will now bring up the catcher, Sam Ferry. And a runner on first. ASU will try to perhaps get some momentum going offensively and perhaps even try to take the first lead. First pitch to Ferry, low and inside, ball 1. Ferry last season hit a .261 clip with 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. The 1-0 misses inside, breaking ball, slider at 87, tailing towards the belt buckle of the Arizona State catcher. Hadger sets, kicks, and now delivers. Fastball inside edge, called strike one. Umpires tonight: Travis Renninger behind home plate, John Bullock at first, Paul Graham at second, and Stephen Corvey, the third base umpire. Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball goes inside, but a good block by Donovan, able to absorb that one into his protector and keep the runner at first.
Yeah, that pitch just sweeping away from Hadger right now. He had it pretty good against the lefty Hoffer, but now it's just diving in on Ferry.
Well, Hadger looks in, counts 3-1. Sets and delivers, swing and a miss. Big healthy cut on a good breaking ball.
Nice ball four right there, but he went fishing.
Low and away. Tried to send that one out of the ballpark. Hadger looks in, counts full once again, second straight batter. 2 down, Hadger sends one, swing, and a hot shot off the glove of Blomgren, heading around second and towards third now is Trevor Harbour. He'll slide in safely. He goes from first to third, was away on contact. And the runners are on the corners with 2 down.
Yeah, Ferry hit that one pretty hard right at Blomgren, though. And Blomgren able to get the glove on it, couldn't knock it in front of him. It spins into the outfield, and now Denson with an opportunity to make something happen.
Miles Denson getting a chance to try to do something offensively here for ASU. At .292 in 19 starts last season. Played in 41 games. First pitch called strike on a good breaking ball at 78 miles an hour. Denson will step out and then step back into the batter's box and await the 0-1 offering from Hadger, who kicks and delivers. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. Healthy cut. Couldn't make contact. Hadger's mixing up his pitches very well right now, inducing a lot of swings and misses. The left-hander looks in. Now delivers the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Another healthy hack from Miles Denson, and ASU, while able to get a runner all the way to third base, isn't able to bring him home, and we remain scoreless heading into the third.
Yeah, really nice comeback at bat there from the lefty Hadger, battling back into that at bat. You know, he had allowed a walk and then a hit, but then he comes right out, and a 3-pitch strikeout right there. And so Michigan still scoreless going to the third. Things going as they planned, at least with the guy on the mound, but they need to get some better swings against Cooper Benson, and that's, you know, that's the thing that you really are kind of watching here with these young pitchers. Was the first time through just to see how they were going to fare at all, but then, you know, it'll be probably the second or third time through that then you really see how these hitters are going to adjust. But at least there'll be 3 more hitters who haven't seen Benson yet for Michigan: Zimmerman, Obertop, and Burton.
Zimmerman inserted into the game earlier this afternoon in the 5th inning in place of Dominic Clemente. Failed to get a hit in that game, but reached on an error and drew a walk along with a strikeout. As Benson completes his final couple of warm-up pitches, we are just about ready to get things underway here in top of the 3rd inning. Zimmerman still looking for his first hit of 2020. First pitch from Benson, fastball up high, ball 1. Zimmerman steps back into the box and now awaits the 1-0 offering. Fastball tails low and away. 2-0. The 2-0 from Benson. Fastball again, this time high. 3-0 the count now to Danny Zimmerman.
Well, Zimmerman came in last night after the over-top ejection, which, by the way, if you haven't seen, a number of people online have been very angry about that ejection. And
understandably so.
It made a separate SB Nation article as the worst ejection of 2020 has already happened.
Fastball. That one is driven into deep left center field. Going back is Harvard. That ball is gone.
Wow.
An absolute no-doubter off the bat of Danny Zimmerman.
It's the first homer of his career, first hit of his career.
Gives the Wolverines an early 1-0 lead. The umpire's telling the Wolverines to back off and go back to their dugout, but they want to celebrate with their young right-hander.
Now, Danny Zimmerman, he's been around the program a few years, hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities to play, and here he's given one and just cranks it to left field onto that sort of dirt-covered hill.
Don't you love Arizona? Ball really flies here.
Yeah.
First pitch now to Jimmy Obertop, misses high. 1-0 the count. 1-0 Michigan. Here in the top of the third, a 1-0 from Benson.
Well, just like many talk radio call-in people who used to say the Tigers could never win the World Series because the ball doesn't fly when it's cold. It's flying here because it's warm.
It's warm and dry. 2-0. Called strike. Good fastball on the outside edge. That's actually something, that and the elevation too makes the ball travel a little bit more. They had to add a humidifier for, a humidor for their balls at Chase Field. Only Chase Field and the Colorado Rockies at Coors Field have a humidor in the MLB. Try to keep the balls from flying around the yard. 3-1, called strike.
It's a nice pitch from Benson. He was in a 3-1 count when Zimmerman clobbered it, and now he's able to come back there to get to 3-2.
Still looking to retire the first Wolverine. Actually, first Wolverine of this inning. And that's a called strike 3. Obertop thought it was inside. He threw his bat and started making his way up to first, but the umpire rung him up and is now one away.
Now that's a good strikeout for Benson to come back after giving up a home run, but now he's got Burton with one out in the inning.
3 Ks now for Benson. As the first pitch, check swing, called strike to Ted Burton.
Well, just like on our printed up sheet, the stat broadcast has Joe Donovan in all caps.
That's
too.
what I was. Yeah, that's what I was saying. He matters.
You have to announce him every time.
Yeah, he matters to Arizona State media. 0-1 swing and a miss. Healthy cut there from Burton.
Well, Burton had a pretty nice game this afternoon against Cal Poly. Went 2 for 5. Couple singles in that one. Not a single ground ball. He was hitting it hard most of the time.
0-2 pitch, swing and a miss on a high fastball. Benson starting to get back into his groove. Now 2 straight strikeouts. That's 4 on the game.
Yeah, he's looked pretty good so far, but made one bad mistake, and that's why the Sun Devils are in the hole. But now, again, we get the second time through the order. See how these mostly veteran hitters for both sides will assess the freshman, or essentially freshman, redshirt freshman for Hadger, hurlers.
First pitch, swing and a miss from Wogu. Took a very big piece off of that curveball. It fell off the kitchen table. Benson looks in. Now delivers the 0-1 called strike on the inside edge, 0-2.
Just hit the 40 pitch mark, is in a pretty respectable spot.
Big issue for Arizona State last season was their bullpen. The 0-2 swing and a hot shot. Ooh, off the glove of the leaping Aliko Williams. Tried to copy the play of last night from Blomgren. Just couldn't get high enough, missed it by about 3 inches.
Yet, valiant leaping effort there, but just clipped it off the top of the glove, and so now Wogu is aboard with 2 outs in the inning, and Blomgren now will come up and we get this fearsome top of the lineup for Michigan with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd.
With Donovan on deck. I'm going to know him as that for the rest of his career now. First pitch to Blomgren is a called strike.
Yeah, Benson's location's been very good. I mean, right there, that's not a pitch down the middle. It's right on the edge. Called strike, not much Blomgren can do with it. And that's how you get ahead of hitters, which, except for 2 batters, Zimmerman and Obertop, Benson's been getting ahead all night long.
Benson looks in, gets the sign from Ferry behind the dish, and now delivers. Breaking ball in the dirt, ball 1. Wogu likes to dance around on the base path. Was getting into the minds of pitchers for both the Mustangs and the Commodores over the last 2 games, and will look to do the same here against the Sun Devils. The 1-1, and that one misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike.
So now you get ahead in the count and see what the lefty's going to offer you.
Throw over to first, not in time for the speedy Wogu.
Starting to dance off of first right there.
Benson looks back in. This ballpark isn't actually the original ballpark for Arizona State, as another pickoff move isn't made in time. The original ballpark for the program is Packard Stadium, that is now being demolished. It is right off of the campus in Tempe. That is where Reggie Jackson and Barry Bonds played. As that one is scorched, another high leaping play, this time made by Drew Swift to record the final out of the inning. Blomgren got a good piece of that ball, but just couldn't get it over the leaping glove of Drew Swift, the second baseman.
Yeah, those are a couple pretty nice swings from Wogu and Blomgren. Wogu's was to the left side of the diamond, and it got off the glove and into the outfield. That one to the right side from Blomgren, and it nestles into the glove of Swift. But Michigan had a couple good swings there, and they take a 1-0 lead off the homer from Zimmerman into the bottom of the 3rd, and we'll see how Hadger handles this 3rd inning, and a very loud on-field host.
Yeah, that's my buddy Nick, actually.
Oh, boy. Tell him to stop yelling.
Nick's a pretty great story, though.
No, I think the issue is that the PA is just turned up way too
absolutely,
loud.
absolutely. Yeah, no, it's definitely not Nick. That's a put your head down on a baseball bat and spin in a circle 5 times, and then have to sprint in some direction and pray not falling and eating a face full of dirt. Presented by Whataburger, it's the Sun Devil Dizzy Bat. It was something that you and I had actually talked about coming into this weekend. Just during our time over the summer, we had our fair share of conversations about fast food, and you had actually asked me whether or not Whataburger was anywhere outside of Texas, and I said, well, if you look across the street from my apartment, there is one. I still have yet to go. I'll have to make a visit sometime. But we finally introduced you to In-N-Out for the first time, and then as well as Cane's. So
both are pretty solid.
A couple of chains that are not in the state of Michigan. Well, this is Danny Marshall, the center fielder, stepping up to lead off this inning for the Arizona State. First pitch from Hadger. Fastball, called strike 1. Marshall has a pretty interesting story, as we learned from a couple of people who cover Arizona State baseball that he was initially brought on to be a pitcher and actually was expected to be cut from the team as the 0-1 is fouled back into the screen. He's expected to be a pitcher and then just couldn't find command, so he's expected to be cut from the actual squad this week. But a hitting coach decided, hey, let's keep him around, see how he does on the plate. And then a couple of injuries in the center field position forces him to go down as he goes down swinging. There on a swing and a miss on a good breaking ball there from Hadger.
That's now 4 through 9 batters for Hadger. And again, here's the second time through the order for ASU. We'll see how their plate approach changes as Swift is ready to come up.
Swift, then Torkelson waits on deck. In the hole, if necessary, is Aliko Williams. The first pitch to Swift. Ooh, inside, buzzed the tower a little bit. Ball 1. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in to WCBN. 1-0 offering, swing and a foul straight back into the screen. 1-1. It was funny because I'm going to be honest with you, when we actually did this last season, or over the summer rather, I don't think there was any opportunity to where I thought that this could possibly be the case, as there's a swing and that one went off maybe the catcher gear?
Not sure.
Or off the backswing down the foul territory. Either way, it's 1-2. This has been a really cool weekend, and I appreciate you bringing me on.
Well, I wasn't going to call baseball solo, so.
Well, that's fair, especially this many games. It's been an absolute blast, and look forward to a good game here tonight. Hadger delivers the 1-2. Breaking ball, dives in the zone, called strike 3.
Yeah, that's
Beautiful
a nasty
pitch.
off-speed pitch right there. Well, you have the good fortune to know that I happen to like you as a broadcaster more than a random person off the street.
Well,
so.
that really does mean a lot. We're working on like me as a person as well, not just a broadcaster. That's still in progress. But excited to continue calling baseball with you this summer as well, back in Bethesda. That'll be a great final ride, as the first pitch to Torkelson's a breaking ball that misses low for ball 1.
Torkelson hitting number 2 in the lineup. That's the new sabermetric type thing to put your best hitter number 2 so they get more at-bats.
The 1-0 to Torkelson bounces about 6 inches in front of the plate. 2-0.
Hadger smacked the glove. Knows he let that one go just a little too early, didn't get the proper release point.
Spencer Torkelson is just the third player in Pac-12 history with consecutive seasons of 20 or more home runs. He broke Barry Bonds' home run record as a freshman here at Arizona State, as he sends a hot shot down the third base line that's picked up by Burton, thrown across the diamond in time for out number 3. So another 1-2-3 inning for Hadger. That's his second tonight. And that keeps the Sun Devils off the scoreboard for the third straight frame, as we will head to the 4th inning here in Phoenix Municipal Stadium. That wasn't a word. And Michigan will try to add on to their lead.
First 3 innings go by in about 45 minutes,
Can't
cruising
complain
along
with
right
that,
now.
especially coming off of what was nearly a 4-hour game between Michigan and Cal Poly.
Well, the pitchers have been good so far, and if you want a game to go by quickly, put good pitchers on the mound and see what happens.
In fact, I have the actual number itself. Yeah, 3:46, 3 hours and 46 minutes, the official time of the game this afternoon. That was why this game had to be pushed back 30 minutes. In order to accommodate Michigan traveling from Scottsdale.
Well, Cooper Benson will step back on the rubber to begin this 4th inning. Michigan got a couple really nice swings off of him to conclude that 3rd inning. Obviously the homer to lead it off from Zimmerman, but Wogu and Blomgren both hit 2 balls pretty hard. One was caught and one was not. And now Joe Donovan will go up. He flew out to center. It was a long tailing fly into right center that was hauled in by Marshall. First pitch to Donovan, dives in for a called strike. Benson needed 46 pitches to get through the first 3. He's on a pretty good pace. Hadger just barely over 40 as well. These 2 young hurlers doing really good work. 0-1 is outside. 1-1 the count. 1-1 windup in the pitch. Called strike 1-2. Donovan looks back at home plate umpire Travis Renninger. Now we'll get ready to do the 1-2 again. Donovan taps the plate. Benson puts the glove down and winds up. Swing and a miss. Powers it by him. And that's now strikeout number 5 for Cooper Benson to begin this 4th inning.
Yep, got K's abound. 5 already for Hadger, now 5 for Benson.
And that'll bring up Matt Schmidt. He struck out looking back to begin the 2nd inning. Benson winds up. First pitch coming is a little high and outside, 1-0. Schmidt, the hero on Friday night's game against Vanderbilt. There's a swing and a fly ball to left center field. This one is well hit, backing up towards the track, towards the wall, and making the play out there is Trevor Hauver. He ran it down right in front of the fence in left center field. Schmidt got another good piece of one, but comes up a little short on that drive.
Yeah, that ball was very well hit. Definitely starting to get under a lot more of these balls here in the 2nd game. Didn't see too many fly around for Michigan in that 1st game. But a couple of long drives here early on in tonight's game 2.
And now Riley Bertram stands in with 2 outs in the inning. First pitch on the way. He shows bunt, sort of pops it up right back to the pitcher, and Benson will make an easy play, and that is a really quick 1-2-3 inning for Cooper Benson, and this game speeding along.
Yeah, again, can't complain, especially if you're a fan of pace of play.
Yeah, which I happen to be.
I feel like a lot more baseball fans are. I don't think there's anybody who's like, I really enjoy the good 3.5, 4, 5 hour games. I think the 5 hour games are my favorite. I don't think there's many people who have that take.
So now, as we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, Alika Williams, Gage Workman, and Nate Baez will come up for the Sun Devils. 1-0 Michigan on top. 1 run on 2 hits, no runs on 1 hit for Arizona State. Neither team has committed an error. 1 left on by the Wolverines, 2 left on by the Sun Devils thus far, and Hadger goes back out there.
And Hadger, like Benson, has been having great control so far of his pitches. So we have the duck, duck, goose circle ready to go again for the Michigan Wolverines in left field. This time they're in the left field dugout, or third base dugout, instead of the first base dugout. It'll be interesting to see whether or not tomorrow they play as the home team for the first time this weekend.
Yeah. That game will be against UConn at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We will not have that one for you, unfortunately, but you can follow along on social media with the UMich baseball account. And the Michigan baseball team will be off to Port St. Lucie. We'll probably back to Ann Arbor and then to Port St. Lucie next weekend. As this game tonight will conclude WCBN Sports' coverage of the early season portion of Michigan's play, and they will pick up back in Ann Arbor on March the 13th against Canisius. That'll be WCBN Sports' next baseball broadcast. Hadger's first pitch is a called strike on the inner edge to Alika Williams, who didn't like that call. But in the meantime, before Michigan baseball returns, you can always listen to Michigan baseball podcasts on our podcast network. Podcast to be named later. 0-1 Cummings swinging a high fly ball into center field. This one not very deep, as it drifts into right center. Calling for it is Clark Elliott, and he'll make the play for the first out. You can find that podcast on our SoundCloud account, WCBN Sports Radio.
Can I just say that is a fantastic name of a podcast?
It is, and if you want to know why it was named that, it was because they started it spontaneously in an Omaha hotel room and really just didn't have a name. And then it obviously has baseball significance, and so it just stuck.
Podcast to be named later.
First pitch there is a ball to Gage Workman.
And what's great is that literally every single time a new person clicks on that, they will believe it. Like they're not.
1-0 on the way. It's a little high, 2-0, but today when Hadger has missed, he hasn't missed by much. Through 3 1/3 of 45 pitches, now up to 47 with those two. 5 strikeouts, 1 hit, 1 walk through the first 12 batters faced. Very sharp so far. 2-0 on the way, ground ball foul that goes down the line and into the corner.
Tonight is salute to service night at the ballpark, so ASU, as I just learned on social media, it's hard to see from up here, as a red, white, and blue stars and stripes pattern inside of their A and S crest on their hats.
2-1 coming, swing in a jam shot foul, tailing away, and it will get out of play and into the seating. 2-2 now on Workman.
Arizona State very closely tied with the military history. Obviously, Pat Tillman attended ASU. You can find his name all over campus in Tempe.
2-2 count now on Workman. Hadger winds up. The pitch goes off speed there, but misses it high, and now the count runs full. He's had a couple full counts tonight. He walked Hauver in a full count and then gave up a hard single to Ferry in a similar situation. Now trying to get that called strike 3 here. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and down goes Workman. 2 outs in the inning.
Decides to go with the high cheese up above the zone and got Workman to chase.
6 strikeouts now, and 2 outs, nobody on, brings up Nate Baez. Hadger digs at the mound and then steps on the rubber. First pitch on the way to Baez, swinging a ground ball over to short. Routine play. And the throw across the diamond by Blomgren almost pulled Schmidt off, but he's able to keep that back foot down. And just like that, another 1-2-3 inning. That's the third in 4 frames for Steve Hadger, and we are through 4 innings, speeding along still. 1-0 Michigan on top over Arizona State. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
All right, next it's time for the Rocket Protein Dash. With me, we have Jaden. Jaden, all you have to do is you're going to have to run to the finish line within 13.6 seconds. Get all the way down. Are you excited? All right, let's see if you can do it. 13.6 seconds. Ready? On your mark, get set, go! All right, guys, who thinks you can do it? 13.6 seconds. That's the timer. Let's hear go! All right. 7, 8 seconds. Here we go. She's getting close. Almost there. Will she make it? Oh, she's going to be just a little bit short. Not quick enough. Better luck next time. Maybe you should drink some more Rocket Protein, real milk, or sugar rock bars. Rocket Protein is proud to be the official protein members of Sundell Athletics.
Basically, scrimmage recommended for purchase in mid-November.
Welcome back now to the top of the 5th inning, and Clark Elliott ready to lead off for this Michigan team. They lead 1-0 through 4, top of the 5th here in Phoenix, Arizona. First pitch on the way to Elliott is low for ball 1. It'll be Elliott, Zimmerman, and Obertop. There's a swing to ground ball right back up the middle, and Elliott cracks that single into center field, and the leadoff runner is on for Michigan. This is where you could see Eric Bakich try to small ball it. As runs have been at a premium this far. You are someone who has watched Arizona State baseball before. What is the arm of Sam Ferry like?
Sam Ferry's got a pretty good arm from behind the plate, and perhaps not as good as Lyle Lynn was, the previous catcher, but definitely got the capability of gunning a couple of runners out. So it'll be interesting to see how they test him here tonight. The real question is whether or not they try to go small ball with somebody who
Yeah.
just hit an absolute bomb.
There's a called strike to Zimmerman on the inside edge. Zimmerman got his first career hit. It was a home run over the left field fence. That's the only run of the game. Elliott's hit there for Michigan now, the third hit of the game for the Wolverines, one for ASU through 4. Elliott, a medium lead, and now he's going, and that one is swung on and popped up high into the sky, but it will get well out of play. That might land right in front of us.
Ooh.
Actually off the roof. And now 0-2, Zimmerman behind in the count.
Ferry looking back to his dugout, getting some signs, I'm sure, about the base runner. Manager Tracy Smith for Arizona State goes by Skip in these parts.
Elliott was away on that last pitch. We'll see if he's going here. Thinking about it now, the throw back comes. And that throw was kind of behind where it should be, and Torkelson had a stab at it. Actually made the play a little bit closer than it would be if the throw was where it's supposed to be. Elliott gets back, and now it remains 0-2. Zimmerman waiting for pitch. Now they're going to throw back again, and that one again offline. Torkelson, with that glove on the left hand, keeps having to stab at it. It's where you'd like a left-hander at first base to have the glove on the right, apply the tag right there, instead of reaching across the body. Elliott with a pretty big lead. He stays on the 0-2 just outside. Ferry held it for a second. Didn't get the call and then fires it back. There's a man in a Michigan sweatshirt walking by our view. Mostly all ASU fans here at home. 1-2 on the way. That one's in the dirt, 2-2.
Well, you definitely have to imagine. Looking over at the Michigan side, there's definitely a couple.
Yeah.
I would actually argue there's a pretty strong contingent because you can tell the difference between the maize and the gold.
Well, some people can't.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can, but.
I can too.
2-2 count.
I guess nobody can tell on radio.
Yeah. And the 2-2 on the way. That one is laced down the line in left field. That'll go into the corner. Elliott rounding second. He'll head to third. We'll see if he gets waved around, and they're going to hold him up there. This will be a double. Now the ball gets away in the corner. Elliott will come home, and speeding into third is Zimmerman, and it's 2-0 Michigan. And the umpire again is telling the Michigan dugout to stay back. He might issue a warning to the Michigan bench. He's walking over there. And this is just sad. I mean, come on,
Oh,
dude.
I agree.
Let them celebrate.
Welcome to the Pac-12.
And he's going to talk to Eric Bakich. But regardless, that'll be a double, probably an E7 on Hover in the corner. And after a very touchy umpire behind home plate last night, we see another one. And to me, that's always the biggest no-no for an umpire, is somebody who's just, really touchy about things that you should just kind of let go.
It actually looks like, I completely agree with you. I feel like, especially when it comes to celebrations, just let the kids have fun.
So runner on third now and nobody out in the inning. And this pitch to Obertop is high and outside. Danny Zimmerman, the story of the game thus far. A homer and a double. They do assess the error, throwing error on Hover. I didn't see that properly. I was looking at whether Elliott was going to be held up at third. Did you see what happened there in left field?
Yeah, it definitely appeared that
swing and a miss.
It definitely appeared that it just took a funny hop. It didn't seem like it was really a misplay by Harver as much as it just took a weird hop off of the wall in foul territory down the third base or the left field line, and just couldn't corral it.
1-1 is low, and now Obertop, his number one responsibility here, get this run in from third base with nobody out. 3-0, very different than 1-0. It's 2-0 right now. 2-1 on the way, swing and a miss. Obertop cuts on one in the dirt. He thought he had a ball four his only time up prior to this one, but he got punched out instead on a strikeout looking. Benson sets, 2-2 coming, swing and a miss, and he dusts Obertop there, gets a big strikeout, but he's still got two more outs to get as Burton will come up. That is now strikeout number 6 for Benson. Ted Burton stands up there. He struck out swinging his first time up, had 2 hits in the first game this afternoon. And the infield going to come in, especially Torkelson there at first. Burton watches the first pitch dive in for a called strike. That was pitch number 66 from Cooper Benson. He's making really good efficiency with his pitches, as is Hadger for Michigan. Both these teams don't really want to go to their bullpens. Those were clear weaknesses a year ago for both squads. 0-1 on the way, swinging a fly ball into right field, but that's going to tail foul. And now behind 0-2, Benson needs another strikeout here. Not sure why the infield is pulled in. I guess the thought of a squeeze. But Burton is not really a guy who, at least through his first 3 games of his college career, seems like someone who's going to run up there bunting. 0-2 count. The windup and the pitch outside. One and 2 the count. Michigan's taken a 2-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. A double off the bat of Zimmerman into the corner. And then an E7 scored Elliott from third, moved Zimmerman up to third. The windup and the 1-2, swinging a high fly ball into really shallow left field. This isn't going to get the run in if it's caught. And Hover is able to make the play. So now 2 outs in the inning, and it'll be up to Wogu to bring the run in.
But if there's anybody that Michigan would want up at the plate, why not? What'd you say? The most dangerous?
The scariest leadoff hitter in college baseball is what the Michigan Twitter account has called it.
Now, looking at a second glance at the Michigan hats, they actually appear camo.
Yes, I think that is the case. First pitch to Wogu, swinging a foul right back at us, but it's going to go over our head.
So it's actually both teams acknowledging salute to service night here at the ballpark.
0-1 the count. Wogu singled over the shortstop Williams back in the third. If he does that here, he drives in a run. 0-1 on the way, swings and misses. Also popped up to first in the first inning, but he's ahead behind now 0-2. And Benson puts a runner on third now with nobody out in the inning, but he has done really well to get to 2 strike counts early and then work from a position of power in these at-bats. Got a strikeout and then a shallow pop-out in left. The windup, the 0-2 outside. Wogu takes it well. 1-2 the count. Michigan entered this game 2-0 on the season. Arizona State entered it at 1-1. The windup and the 1-2 on the way, swinging a ground ball over to short. Williams backhands it, throws across the diamond and glove there by Torkelson, and Michigan will strand a runner on third. That's a big escape job by Cooper Benson. He does surrender the second run of the game, though, and Danny Zimmerman does damage once more, and Michigan takes a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the 5th, but really big moment there for Cooper Benson.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's facing adversity here in his first outing as a college baseball pitcher, and it's going to be how he responds going forward that determines whether or not Arizona State can come back into this game.
So this game started at 6:37 Mountain Time. At 7:43 right now, and we are through 4.5, which means we're on pace for just over a 2-hour game. It depends on if Steve Hadger can continue to mow through the ASU lineup. He's allowed just 1 hit so far through 4.
So far, 2 left on base for Michigan so far, which is better than what we saw earlier this afternoon. They hadn't made as good on their opportunities in the last game, stranding 4 through the first 2 innings, and then by this point in the game, They had stranded actually 8. So definitely not too shabby. While the bats aren't popping off nearly as much as we saw earlier this afternoon, they are making sure to make the most of what they've got.
Hauver, Ferry, and Denson here to start the bottom half of the 5th inning for Arizona State. Sun Devils trying not to come up empty on the doubleheader here today. Michigan trying to go perfect on the doubleheader. So Trevor Hauver stands in. He drew a walk with 2 outs back in the 2nd. Went to 3-2, and there was a borderline pitch that he ended up getting the favorable call from Renninger. Lefty Hauver stands in there against the lefty Hadger, and that one is swung on and hit into right field, a base hit, looping over the head of the second baseman, Bertram. That's the 2nd hit of the game for the Sun Devils. First time they've had a leadoff runner on in this one, and Sam Ferry now comes up.
Hauver driving one into right field for his first hit here in 2020.
Ferry's had a pretty nice 2020 thus far, 3 for 5 on the young season, including a single back in the 2nd, and we'll see how Hadger deals with the leadoff runner on. He peers in at Ferry, looks over at the runner on first. First pitch called strike on the outer edge. Trevor Hauver, last year, a really remarkable stolen base number, 0 for 4 in stolen base attempts.
He's got a bit of a trailer on hitch to him. Provides that big bat, but not much speed on the base pass.
0-1 on the way, just a tad outside, 1-1. Look at this ASU lineup, so dangerous. Last year, they had 5 hitters, 330 or higher in batting average. Only one of those is gone in Hunter Bishop. And 3 of those in double-digit home run totals as well. There's a swing and a foul back, 1-2. It bounces off the roof and takes a hard carom, and a guy looked like he got it. I think it dribbled off his hands.
Looks like he got it.
But he did haul it in. 1-2 the count.
Well, mentioning ASU's just dangerous bats in their lineup. Last season, they logged 94 home runs, leading the nation in home runs per game, and had a Pac-12 record in the BB Core era.
1-2 fouled off. Chopped down the third base side, and now chasing all the way after it. I think that's Cullen Tchaikovsky for Michigan. One and two the count. Ferry still in there. There's a swing and a line drive into right field, a base hit. Hauver will stop at second now. 2 runners aboard. And Arizona State, 6 and 7 hitters in this order, doing the really only lifting tonight for ASU. And now that'll bring up Miles Denson with 2 aboard. It'll be interesting to see if we have a coaching meeting at any point. They're going to let Hadger do his thing.
Denson is definitely the option to perhaps get an RBI here, as Danny Marshall, as I said earlier, a former pitcher, not much of a bat, has the ability to field a little pretty well. Actually, I mean, the reason they kept him at center field is because he was shagging balls pretty well. And it's just they've been so injury struck at that position that they had nowhere else to turn.
Denson stands in that batter's box. 2 on and nobody out. Sun Devils trying to get something going, and there's squaring down for a bunt, and Hadger just left it low. Trying to move those runners up.
Yeah, potentially trying to move the runners up and then put it in a situation to where even if Danny Marshall strikes out, you then still flip it to the top of the order with then 2 runners in scoring position and a chance to potentially tie this game.
A Marshall on deck, Swift in the hole. 1-0 count, squaring to bunt again. Hadger left it a little low. He's trying to force Denson to make a high difficulty bunt. But Denson is not biting right now. First moment of trouble for Hadger in this young season. 2-0 count. See how Michigan tries to field this bunt. He's squaring again. 2-0 on the way. And it went off his bat for a strike, and he can't believe it.
Neither can the ASU bench.
And Renninger behind home plate, very clear about that call. It's not getting changed. 2-1 count, that's a gift. And now he's saying something to the third base coach down there. And that's a big moment as it rode in on the hands. Crowd riled up, 2-1 on the way. That one bunted right down the first base line into the hands of Schmidt. He tosses over to Bertram for the out. He gets it done. Runners move up, 1 out. Now for a pinch hitter, it looks like. See this number, that appears to be number 8, Nick Chima.
Chance to put some runs on the board. Tracy Smith not taking any chances with Danny Marshall.
That's probably a smart idea. Nick Chima last year, 3 for 9 at the plate. Not a lot of opportunities, but he gets a big moment here. Runners on second and third. There's a called strike. And this is a situation where Steve Hadger needs a strikeout in particular to get to 2 outs and then bring up Drew Swift.
Last season, he's a pivotal member with his work in the bullpen as a catcher. And had 3 hits in his 9 at-bats last season.
0-1 swing and a high pop-up. This one in the shallow right field. Backing up is Bertram. He's there for the out, and the runners have to stay. Hadger got the other alternative to a strikeout, which is a shallow pop-up. So now 2 outs in the inning, and it's up to Drew Swift. Torkelson on deck, can't face him. Need to take care of Swift here, and Swift, a .265 hitter, but .375 on base last year, 28 walks to 41 strikeouts. He's got good plate discipline, but he's been K'd up twice tonight by Steve Hadger.
It'll be interesting to see who Tracy Smith goes in center field for the defensive replacement come next inning.
First pitch from Hadger is just off the plate outside. That one looked pretty good. Hadger now at 65 pitches with that first delivery. Still in a pretty good spot to go 6 or 7 in this game if he can get through this big inning. He's looking into the dugout for a sign. Now he checks his wristband. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the 5th. Runners on second and third. 1-0 on the way to Swift in the dirt. He thought about swinging. A huge block there from Joe Donovan, but it's 2-0. Been an excellent performance so far for Steve Hadger. He stranded 2 through 4, trying to make that number 4 through 5. Sets 2-0 on the way, swinging a fly ball to center field. This one well hit off the bat of Swift, backing up to the track, to the wall, and making the catch out there in center field, Jordan Wogu. And Michigan escapes the jam with a 2-0 lead intact, just in front of the 395 sign in center field. Swift got a lot on that one. He didn't have a homer last year, and he doesn't have one yet in this game. And Michigan leads 2-0 to the 6th.
Definitely a big oh no, oh yes moment for Michigan as everybody in this stadium got up on their feet.
2-0 Michigan Wolverines on top, and now let's see if it is Benson to go back out there for another inning of work in the top of the 6th for the Sun Devils. It does appear to be him, and now they're going to see who that is out in center field. Probably won't get a great view of it, but can take a look anyway.
Yeah, unfortunately there's no numbers on the front. You'll have to get it on the back. But Chima is now the catcher behind the plate in place of Sam Ferry.
38.
That is Seth Nager. He's a freshman at Oro Valley, Arizona.
So, Michigan will have Blomgren, Donovan, and Schmidt with a 2-0 lead intact. As they start the 6th inning, a really big defensive play there from Jordan Wogu in the outfield. And now Michigan will try to get some more runs on the board. They left a runner on third in that last inning. Blomgren shoves bunt, pulls it back, and takes it for a ball. The outside part of the plate. Michigan has left 2 on. Arizona State has left 4 on. And these young southpaws really strong on the mound tonight. Here's the sun has totally set in Phoenix, Arizona. 1-0 outside and low, 2-0. Totally pitch black in the background. Two-0 count. The windup in the pitch. Blomgren swings, hits this one high into the sky in shallow right field. Coming over is Miles Denson. He falls down, and that's going to drop in. Blomgren headed to second, and he will cruise in with an E9. Oof.
Just misread the play. It started to tail back towards center field. As Denson was moving to his left, it started going to his right, and by the time he tried to put his foot in the ground to change direction, just ended up slipping in the grass out there in right field and couldn't make the play. Like you said, that is a easy E9.
Yeah, Denson just fell over in right field, and the ball dropped in just behind him, and now Michigan, another gift from the ASU defense. The scoreboard operator has marked it as a hit, which they did for Wogu, so what giveth, what taketh for Michigan, I guess. And they are going to mark it as a double, the old generous double right there.
That's wildly generous, especially for a home ballpark.
I mean, Denson came in, yes, he had to run a bit, but he had it sized up, and then he didn't. And, I mean, again, if you're going to mark that one that Wogu botched in the first game as a double, then you got to mark this one as a double. Obviously, different scorers. 1-0 on the way. And that one a little low to Donovan. And for the second straight inning, Benson is going to have to try to pitch out of some trouble, but this time he's facing the middle of the order for the Wolverines. Donovan 3, Schmidt 4, Bertram 5 up to come in this inning. Runner on second and nobody out. 2-0 count. There's a called strike on the outside edge. Cooper now, this next pitch will be number 80. This may be his last inning again. Don't want to send a guy too deep into the pitch count this early in a season. And he steps off. Blomgren down there at second has some speed, but not that much to steal third, you wouldn't think. He's just dancing around to keep the pitcher, Benson, honest, getting his head a little bit. Two one on the way, swinging a fly ball, tailing into foul ground. That one will get out as WCBN alumni Austin Falco has weighed in that, generally speaking, when an outfielder never touches the ball, it's not an error. As an old scoring note.
Interesting.
Now, I think Wogu might have touched that one earlier. It might have gone off his leg as it kind of went between his legs. But that one definitely did not touch the right fielder, Denson. So good call there. Swinging a foul high into the sky again. A little late on these swings is Donovan. He's just shooting him off to the side.
Oh, wow.
Bare hand catch over there on the concourse.
Still don't know how impressive we'll see a catch in the stands outside of what we saw earlier this afternoon.
Well, that one was just amazingly nonchalant.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't even off the bat. It was off the bounce.
Yeah, it wasn't his hard hit, but it was just hilarious. 2-2 on the way. Donovan crunches this one to center field. Blomgren's going to have an opportunity to tag up. Coming over is the right fielder, Denson, makes the catch. Blomgren will tag, and he will move up 90 feet with a head-first slide. The ball hits him in the rear, and he will be there at third base, and now it's up to Matt Schmidt to bring him in with one out.
Pretty online throw from right field.
Yeah, perfectly online. So productive out from Joe Donovan moves Blomgren up. Benson now 82 pitches as he begins the Schmidt at bat. Strikeout looking and a fly out to left. If it's deep enough to left, could easily get the run home. If he does it again. Hoffer's arm didn't look great in that Zimmerman play. There's a swing and a miss. Schmidt waves over the off-speed pitch, breaking down in the zone. Michigan 5 hits in 21 at-bats, a .238 team average. ASU 3 hits in 17 at-bats, a .176 team average. 0-1 on the way, swing and a miss. Schmidt is up there trying to put this ball in play, and he's not making contact right now. Oh, 0-2 count. Benson winds up. Schmidt takes it inside. 1-2.
Benson now sitting at 82 pitches.
There is someone up in the ASU pen.
It's much harder to see from here in this ballpark as to who could possibly be throwing.
1-2 the count. The wind up the pitch. Schmidt hits this one right over our heads.
Happy I took away the binoculars. That would have been catastrophic. It is Cam Denny, number 45, a freshman, warming up in the ASU pen.
Nobody up in the Michigan pen. Hadger's pitch count in better shape than Benson's entering the 6th. 1-2. The pitch, swing and a miss, and he dusts Schmidt. Another huge strikeout for Benson, trying to strand another runner on third base. Now it'll be up to Bertram. That is now strikeout number 7. Benson's been very sharp today.
Again, just one pitch got away from him, crushed by Zimmerman. Then Zimmerman able to hit, put a pretty good charge into a ball that ended up taking a crazy bounce. That allowed another run, and otherwise you're looking at still perhaps a scoreless ball game.
Yeah. There's a swing and a miss from Bertram. He keeps going off speed, does Benson, and he's getting those swings and misses. Michigan, only a few hitters have been able to properly time up the deliveries. Blomgren, Wogu, Zimmerman, and Elliott really been the 4 with good swings. There's a strike on the outside edge. Bertram immediately steps out of the batter's box. Batting righty against the lefty Benson, and now 1 strike away from another escape from Cooper Benson. This will be pitch number 90 of his evening. A windup in the pitch, swinging a fly ball to right field, but it will tail foul and onto the concourse again, and a bunch of kids chase after it. Takes a huge hop and lands up on that upper deck. And now the kids are down there all screaming for them to throw it down. It'll be like tossing a raw steak to a pack of dogs. 0-2 count. Benson working ahead again. That one swung on and corkscrewed foul. And a kid in a blue sweatshirt catches it right out of the air. That one wasn't going very hard.
No.
Had a lot of backspin on it and landed right in his hands.
Yeah. Good fundamentals, 2 hands, bring it in.
Just past the 8 o'clock hour Mountain Standard Time. Light towers are on here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. 0-2 the count remains. See if Blomgren can come up with a big hit here for Michigan. Put them up 3-0. They lead 2-0 right now. Runner on third. 0-2 count, 2 outs. The windup, the pitch way high. 1-2. One and two the count. Riley Bertram looking for his first hit of the 2020 season. Cooper Benson, freshman lefty for Arizona State, trying to get out of another inning. 1-2 coming. That one's low. 2-2. As the sun has set in Phoenix, the temperature has dropped as well, now down to 61 degrees. And it will continue to drop, should be down to 59 or 57 as this game plows along. Both teams all in short sleeves, though. 2-2 coming. Bertram swings, hits this one right back up the middle into center field, a base hit. And Riley Bertram's first hit of the 2020 season is an RBI single nestled under the glove of a diving Drew Swift. And Michigan now takes a 3-0 lead as Sparky, the ASU mascot, comes by right in front of us.
Sparky always loves the kids, as long as they're wearing maroon and gold.
To make sure he doesn't kidnap them and take them to hell.
Jesus. Oh, my God. That was incredibly morbid. We're going to have a mound
it's the Sun
visit.
Devil mascot. You never know.
He's a Sun Devil. He's not Satan.
I mean, that's a devil face.
Yeah, it's close. It's just not actually Satan.
So 3-0 Michigan in conference on the mound.
Again, though, I need to pull this up.
As Riley Bertram stands down there at first, Clark Elliott will be due up for
If
Michigan.
you want to see some nightmare fuel, the old Sparky was absolutely terrifying. Then Disney rebranded one year and gave him massive eyes.
That mustache isn't great.
And then they ended up giving him the look that he has now, which I think is much better.
Elliott ready to stand in. We continue to be a very visual broadcast.
Yeah.
3-0 Michigan on top. Clark Elliott stands in the batter's box. He singled his last time up, and Bertram's going on the first pitch. Throw on down is in time for the out. And that'll end the inning. Michigan, none left on. Elliott will be due up when he comes back up in the 7th, but Michigan pads their lead, adds another here in the top of the 6th, and they will take a 3-0 lead into the bottom half of the 6th inning, and Hatcher will go back out there for another inning of work. He's at just 67 pitches. You have to think Eric Bakich would love to get 2 more frames out of him.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you can go 7 and carry your team against a very talented lineup, and then hand it over to the back part of the bullpen, Kaiser and perhaps Page, that would definitely
Page or Weston to close it out.
Yeah, that would definitely be a huge advantage for Michigan. Because the problem for Arizona State now is they are not only trailing, but they're looking more and more like they're going to have to go to the pen sooner than later, with Cooper Benson's pitch count getting over 90. This is the part of the lineup that can potentially get them back in this ball game, with Spencer Torkelson leading off, followed by Alika Williams and Gage Workman.
Benson now at 94 pitches. And yeah, you would have to think his day is probably done. We've seen someone up in the pen for a while. He's ceded runs in each of the last 2 innings. Michigan's done enough so far against him, and they did a good job chasing Mason Hickman out last night. And if they do indeed push Benson out after 6, been a pretty solid day at the office. Now Hadger out there practicing his warm-up pitches. And Hadger flips the ball to Joe Donovan, who hands it to the home plate umpire, Renninger. And now Torkelson due up. As you mentioned, this is Torkelson, Williams, and Workman. 3 guys projected as first or second rounders in this upcoming MLB draft. All juniors, really dangerous hitters. Torkelson, 23 homers a year ago. First pitch from Hadger rides a tad inside, 1-0.
The thing with Torkelson is that it's not like he's just this first baseman with a big bat. He can hit it all over the yard and also hit for average.
351 hitter last year, 446 on base. There's a ball low now, 2-0. Torkelson is ahead. Struck out swinging in the first, ground out to third back in the 3rd inning. He's already at 2 homers on the year, 1 in each of the first 2 games. He entered this one at 2 for 4 at the plate and 5 walks. 2-0 on the way. That comes back, but I guess a little high. 3-0.
That's the only place it could have been. That looked to be almost right down Broadway in terms of whether it was left or right. We are a little bit off center from the plate, similar to how we were at Salt River Field.
Yeah, just a tad. 3-0 coming, and Hadger puts it in the dirt. Torkelson draws another walk, and now he'll face Alika Williams with the runner on first. Second straight inning with the leadoff runner on.
This is, again, a chance for Arizona State just to cut into the lead. That's how you start a comeback, and then, you know, you gradually chip away. Or what's great about baseball is things can change with one swing of a bat.
Yep. Alika Williams at the plate, .333 hitter last year, 4 homers, not nearly the same power threat as Torkelson. First pitch comes in a little inside, 5 straight balls, and now perhaps some folks headed out to the Michigan bullpen. We haven't seen a visit from Chris Fetter or Eric Bakich yet today to the mound. This is a very perilous inning right here. 1-0 on the way, called strike on the outside black. 1-1. Digging back into the batter's box is Alika Williams. Runner just a shade off of first. 1-1, dives inside, 2-1. Swooping delivery at 78 miles an hour there from Hadger. Two-one count. The windup and the pitch. That one high and outside. And now 3-1. Command starting to waver a little bit as he's crossed the 70 pitch threshold, and Michigan has to be ready to make a move if necessary. Still just early stages of guys warming up in the pen. 3-1 on the way. Swing and a foul off himself from Williams. That fastball running at about 90. Three and two the count now. This would be a huge strikeout to get. He hasn't K'd up Williams yet. He has 6 strikeouts through 5, but Williams ground out to short and a fly out to right today. Torkelson down there at first. No real threat to steal. Just 1 for 3 last year on stolen base attempts. Three-two on the way. Swinging a fly ball to right field. This one well hit, but Elliott backs up. He's going to have room in front of the wall, and he makes the play for the first out.
A solid contact to the opposite way, but just not enough to force anybody away. And it looks like we have somebody running to the bullpen.
Yeah, a couple guys out there.
I do have at least one confirmed number 30 for Michigan, which is Jack White.
Yeah, Jack White's a lefty they like a lot.
Out of Bethesda, Maryland.
Yes.
Look at that.
Runner on first, still Torkelson. First pitch to Workman, rides inside, dangerously close. 1-0. We've seen the Michigan bullpen struggle with the hit-by pitches last couple games, with Page last night and Angelo Smith today, but the starters have been very strong at staying away from hitting batters. 1-0 count. Hadger working right now. To battle. He's going to just throw over to Torkelson, and that one just lofted over there.
I can tell you right now, Torkelson's not exactly a threat to steal.
Said his numbers on the base path a few moments ago, and yeah, that was just getting it out there. 1-0 coming, and that one is fouled right on top of the Michigan dugout, and then it gets caught out of the air by somebody in the dugout. 1-1 count as Workman way out in front of it. Workman last season had 8 bombs, .330 average, .413 on base. One count. Swinging another fly ball into right, but that one's going to tail foul.
Some kids booking it out to the outer concourse.
Well out of the, not where we can see it. 1-2 now. Hadger is ahead. He struck out Workman swinging in the 4th. Can he do that here in the bottom of the 6th? 1-2 count, 1 out, runner on first. 3-0 Michigan over Arizona State. Another top 10 clash for the Wolverines on their opening weekend desert tour. 1-2 coming, swing and a miss. And Workman chases that off-speed pitch. And he's down on strikes, 2 gone in the inning. Runner Torkelson still on first, and now Nate Baez strides in.
Strikeout number 7 for Hadger. Had number 6 against Gage Workman as well. It had been a while.
Nate Baez 0 for 2 today, the freshman, with a pair of groundouts, 1 to first and 1 to short. First pitch on the way, fouled back. A lot of these swings are pretty late for the ASU Sun Devils. They keep following them off, tailing the opposite way of these righty hitters, shooting them out to the right. 0-1 count. That one dives down and in, throw back, trying to get Torkelson napping. Donovan not close there. 1-1 the count. It's now pitch 83 for Hadger. Still just stretching going on in the Michigan pen. You could think they could stretch him for one more if he can get this out of Baez. 1-1 coming, off speed, beautiful called strike. That one at 74, one of the slowest we've seen today.
Yeah, just a little butterfly.
Now he's ahead 1-2, looking to dig out of this inning. He walked Torkelson on 4 pitches to begin the frame. Now he's collected 2 outs in a row, and the runner hasn't moved up yet. 1-2 count. The windup. The pitch, just a tad outside. Donovan says do it again, 2-2 count. Hadger sets the 2-2 on the way, swinging a foul ball, just flipped over the screen and landing in the stands. Good at bat being put together here. Trying to escape the 6th, still scoreless. 3-0 Michigan on top. The windup, the pitch, swinging a fly ball to left center field. This one is deep. It is well hit, moving back towards the track, but gonna have room in left field as Danny Zimmerman. Some really hard hit balls there from Baez and Williams in the inning, but Hadger escapes, still standing, and Michigan escapes the 6th, still leading 3-0 on top over Arizona State. We will go to the 7th with that score. You're listening to Michigan Baseball on WCBN Sports.
Once again, fans, like to check out the video board for this inning's bingo numbers.
Back now for the top of the 7th inning here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium, as leading off for the Michigan Wolverines is Clark Elliott. He swings and misses at a good fastball up in the zone. As remaining out there on the bump for the Arizona State Sun Devils is still starting pitcher Cooper Benson, now sitting at 95 pitches. And another high fastball swung on and chased by Elliott. 0-2 the count. Elliott so far in this ball game flew out to left his first time up. That was in the second, and then singled his last time up in the fifth. Got all the way to second as he is rung up on a great breaking ball pitch from Cooper Benson. That is his 8th strikeout of the afternoon. That's going to bring up Danny Zimmerman, who has driven in a couple of runs. Most notably, he got the scoring going in this ball game with an absolute bomb to left field and a RBI, and it looks like Arizona State's going to go to the bullpen. Cooper Benson just out in the 7th to face one batter. He will finish his college debut with 7 strikeouts. Not too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, a really nice outing from Cooper Benson. First career college start coming against a top 10 team in Michigan, and he did enough for ASU. You know, this is a team that is an offensive team. You expect this offense to put up more than 0 runs against, you know, almost any team, especially, you know, in his first few games. You look at, they just haven't produced offensively. Didn't produce enough against Villanova, just 1 run this afternoon, and now 0 through 6. They're going to need that offense to pick up, and now the relief pitcher comes in with 1 out in the 7th.
Yep, it'll be Cam Denny, a freshman out of Culver, Indiana, to come into the ball game. Final line for Cooper Benson: 6 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, no walks, and 8 Ks. Again, not a bad debut for the young kid for Arizona State. But I'll go from the lefty Benson to the righty Denny. Denny, also a freshman, like I said, out of Culver, Indiana, stands 6'2", being in at 180 pounds. Went to Plymouth High School in Culver, had a record-breaking high school career there, where he maintained a 2.08 ERA in 15 appearances his senior season, striking out 91 batters in 61 innings, while holding opponents at just a 177 batting average during that time. He was a top 500 overall prospect in the United States, tab number 184 at the right-handed pitching prospect.
Pretty high, too, for baseball.
Yeah, by Perfect Game. Perfect Game also lists him as the number 6 overall prospect and the number 3 right-handed pitching prospect in the state of Indiana. Well, this will be his first action as an Arizona State Sun Devil. He continues to take his warm-up pitches. There are a couple of people standing up in the Michigan bullpen. At least one pitcher is warming up.
Jack White is throwing for Michigan. Ben Kaiser just standing there right now.
I have to imagine that both will potentially make their way into this ball game.
The thing about using Isaiah Page potentially as a closer would be that you'd have to think Page is probably the most likely to go tomorrow for Michigan. So if he is going to start, then maybe they go the route of Kaiser, White, and Weston as the combination out of the Michigan bullpen when it comes to that.
Well,
Weston only threw, 3 pitches?
Yeah, yeah, not very many.
And he only threw like 6 or 7 last night against Vanderbilt. Very short outings each time.
There's a couple of pitchers in the ASU bullpen just getting on the bike and staying loose. Nobody up and warming up completely, so this is Cam Denny's game for now, as he will face Danny Zimmerman. Zimmerman 2 for 2 here tonight as the first pitch misses, ball 1.
Benson goes 6 1/3, allowing 6 hits, 3 runs.
The 1-0. Slider misses high, ball 2.
No walks, 8 strikeouts to that. Only 2 of the runs were earned. Overall, a really nice night for him in his first collegiate start.
Jimmy Overtop waits on deck. Ted Burton in the hole, if necessary. 2-0 pitch, fastball outside edge, called strike 1. One clocking in at 91 miles an hour. Haven't seen a lot of velocity from the arms out of ASU. Wind up and the pitch. Breaking ball, called strike inside edge. Count even at 2 apiece.
Well, Zimmerman's got a double and a homer. He needs a single or a triple here to continue cycle watch.
Two offering from Denny. Swing and a far hit ball into center field, but it's starting to die on the warning track and able to make the play.
That's another really nice swing from Zimmerman. Came up at about probably 385 or 390 there to center field.
Center fielder Nager made the play. That'll bring up Jimmy Obertop with 2 down. First pitch misses outside of the zone, ball 1 to Jimmy Obertop. He is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts so far this evening. As Denny looks in, now delivers a breaking ball, check swing, but it was in the zone anyway, 1-1.
Saw Obertop hit a ball really far last night against Vanderbilt. See if he can get a good cut here.
Denny comes set. The windup and the pitch. Swing and a fly ball into shallow center field. Coming on is Nager, and he will make the play for the final out of the inning. The top of the 7th is complete. It's stretch time here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium.
It's the first 1-2-3 inning for ASU since the 4th.
3-0 Wolverines still on top.
Yeah, this is the take me out to the ball game about to sound. Michigan 9 outs away, but these are going to be a tough 9 outs to get. As you look at Hadger, who we expect to go back out there for the 7th, he's going to have to get through Hauver, Ferry, and Denson, who he has had a lot of trouble with today.
And you have to imagine that the top of the lineup's going to get at least one more at bat.
Well, they will.
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Everyone's going to get one more when you need 9 outs to get. Phoenix Municipal Stadium holds 8,775. And with the seats in down the third base line tarped off, capacity a little smaller here today. But I would say it's probably at, what, 80% capacity, 85?
Yeah, probably 85. Definitely a great showing for this top 10 matchup here in the Valley of the Sun.
And it is actually going to be a new pitcher into the game. Jack White has come on.
Jack White out of Bethesda, Maryland, will make his first showing here in 2020.
So Hadger will finish with 6 scoreless, 3 hits against, a pair of walks, and 7 strikeouts. And no runs against. He's in line for the win, but the Michigan bullpen's going to have to supply a big 9 outs. They've had some issues through the first 2 games. ASU's left 5 on. Michigan's left 2 on through 6.5.
So Trevor Harver will come on and face against Jack White, freshman lefty, standing at 6'3", 195 pounds, out of the Athens Academy in Bethesda, Maryland. Lefty-lefty matchup to get this bottom of the 7th underway.
Well, your lefty had a lot of success against this ASU lineup, so why not stick with what was working? Jack White pitched in a scrimmage that WCBN members Nick Hornberg and Andy Laidlaw were at, and they both spoke very highly of White. The team thinks very highly of White, but this is a chance to see what he's made of here.
His first action here in the regular season, and it's a fastball that misses outside, ball 1. Harver will step back in, adjust his batting gloves, and await the 1-0 offering. The pitch, swing, and a hard drive into center field, backing up, but stopping short of the warning track is Wogu. Good charge, and it put from Harver, but the balls are starting to die here in the cold Phoenix air.
These last few of these have really popped off the bat, but then they just kind of die. And Wogu, I don't know if it's the night sky, but he's tracking him a lot better at night than he was in the sunlight.
Well, absolutely,
at,
especially
Salt River Fields.
In that 5th inning, that play he made up just about 2 feet short of the wall on Drew Swift.
It's a play of a game right now, called strike there.
On a good slider, diving in to Sam Ferry, who is so far 2 for 2 tonight, trying to get on base once again here to keep ASU in this ball game. The 0-1 fastball outside edge, called strike 2. After looking at his wristband, Jack White now ready to go. He's got a bright maize glove he's working with. Fires in the 0-2 pitch, just high. We're really ringing them up.
Yeah, that one just
that's
a tad high floated
up.
High that's how you have to do it.
No, I agree.
Fire up the lawnmower.
That's the chainsaw. That's not Here's the 1-2. That one's well outside. That'll even the count at 2 apiece. 2 singles so far tonight for Sam Ferry. Has gotten as far as second base. That was his last time up in the 5th. That was where he was stranded as he sends one foul out onto the concourse in right field. Count will remain even.
3-0 Michigan still on top over ASU. Number 8 versus number 3 in the Baseball America poll.
The 2-2s. Swing and a fly ball hooking towards foul territory, and it'll get out of play right onto Coors Light Devil Deck.
Yeah, that one just hooked pretty far there. When it came off the bat, looked like Elliott was going to have a play on it in foul territory and right, and then it definitely tailed quite a bit.
Miles Denson waiting on deck for ASU. 2-2 once more, swing and a fly ball into deep right field. Backtracking towards the warning track, now the wall, and making a catch just short of the fence was Elliott.
Well, you mentioned when we showed up here that they had moved the fences in all around.
Yep.
And after tonight, they might move them in 10 more feet because ASU keeps coming up a little bit short.
At least based on how it has played since the sun has set. This will bring on Miles Denson. Seth Nager still waiting on deck as the first pitch fastball misses high above the zone for ball 1. Nager came in as a defensive replacement for the pinch hitting Nick Chima back in the 6th inning. A 1-0 fastball sliced down the right field line and goes into foul territory. 1-1.
Late swing there, and Denson got a lot of it, just pounded it foul.
Denson steps back into the box and awaits the 1-1 offering. It's a breaking ball that skips in the dirt for ball 2.
Well, something we talked about with White being a lefty like Hedger, the thing about the Michigan bullpen, they have a lot of lefties down there, a lot of guys that they like to be power arms on the left side. Kaiser, White, Cleveland. In addition to Dragani, we saw earlier Angelo Smith.
2-1 swing and a chopper straight to second base as Bertram will pick it up and flip it over in time to first for the final out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning for Jack White, and that will take us to the top of the 8th here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Michigan still on top of Arizona State 3-0.
Well, the game started at 6:37. It's now 8:35 rather Mountain Time. So we're through 2 hours and 7 innings of baseball. This game continues to speed along. Michigan leads by 3, now 6 outs away from the win, but they want to pad this lead a little bit more here in the top of the 8th. They'll have Burton followed by Wogu and then Jack Blomgren.
It is still Cam Denny out on the bump for ASU.
What do you call someone with no body and no nose? Nobody knows.
Keaton Caratini out there in the bullpen for Michigan, but he's not throwing. He's just standing there, number 28. Kaiser up, walking around as well, and a catcher. Kaiser looks like he might start throwing in a second. As Burton will lead things off in the 8th.
Luke LaFlamme warming up for Arizona State right now in their bullpen, as Cam Denny delivers the first pitch inside, ball 1 to Ted Burton. And fans trying to get into it over in the right field section of Phoenix Muni. That pitch is fouled back into the screen, 1-1.
I want to thank all of you for joining us again on WCBN Sports' coverage of Michigan baseball. We've got good listenership last night. A bit of a lively live chat again here tonight. As we continue another strong campaign of covering Michigan baseball.
Well, they're trying to get the wave going. Swing and a miss on a good breaking ball on the outside edge, 1-2. The Nationals, personally, whoever runs their Twitter account absolutely despises the wave. And honestly, he's got a point, simply because there were multiple times to where the Nationals were down big as that 1-2 fastball misses low from Denny. It was down big to an opponent in an away ballpark to where then the away crowd, or the home crowd, then did the wave and the Nationals roared back. And so it was always, the Phillies were up 6-2, and then they did the wave. And then it's a highlight tape. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss on a beautiful breaking ball. That's Denny's first strikeout.
He's looked pretty sharp so far. A young arm out of that pen, and Arizona State's going to need some strong arms out of the bullpen. I mean, certainly we saw Benson tonight. I think when you look at this ASU team, if they can get the bats going like they're supposed to, I think this is going to be a pretty good team.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, this game definitely still has the chance to get close. Only a 3-run score. 3 hits for ASU, 6 for Michigan. There's the first pitch, swing and a miss by Wogu. And a good breaking ball. Wogu so far this evening, 1 for 3 with a single. Made that stellar play in center on the defensive side back in the 5th. Then he looks in, now delivers the 0-1. Slider tails outside and low, taken for ball 1. That'll even the count. One ball, 1 strike, 1 away here in the top of the 8th inning. Pitch and called strike on a good fastball. Wogu will violently tap the plate and then step back into the batter's box. The 1-2. Breaking ball just low, taken for ball 2. Counts 2-2. As calling for time is Sam Ferry behind the dish, getting signs from his dugout to his right. Denny comes set, and the 2-2 offering. Fastball just a bit outside. Count runs full, 3-2, much to the displeasure of the Sun Devil faithful. Waiting on deck for the Wolverines is Jack Blomgren. Payoff pitch, swing and a chopper hooking foul down the third base line into the Michigan dugout.
It's a battle right now.
Will be the 7th pitch of this at-bat. The 3-2, swing and a foul back. Count will remain full. Wogu stares at his bat intently. Now steps back in, again, assaults the home plate for resting the big twig of lumber on his right shoulder. Then he delivers the 3-2. This one is lifted into right field, now making a charge towards the foul line and not able to make the play, trying to go over the fence. Was the right fielder Denson. Oof.
He flipped about 3/4 of the way over that fence and then just managed to stop himself from going over.
Was running out of real estate really quickly. I don't think he expected that it was going to close on him that quickly. Count will stay at 3-2 with 1 away. Here on what is now a brisk night in the Valley of the Sun. Currently 61 degrees. Three-two pitch just inside, taken for ball 4. A fantastic at-bat for Jordan Wogu.
He draws a walk now, 1 out and a runner on. You could see Michigan try to move him up with a potential stolen base to try and scratch across to 4th run here in the 8th.
A strikeout and a walk so far in this top of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Jack Blomgren, who doubled on a misplay by Denson his last time up and came around to score. First pitch swinging, and this one is a chopper straight to Alika Williams. Flip it over to second, now to first, not in time. Good extension from Spencer Torkelson. Able to get the force at second. That'll be a 6-4 fielder's choice.
Well, 2 outs in the inning, and now Donovan will come up.
I believe it's pronounced Donovan.
Yeah. Still all in all caps on the stat broadcast.
2 down now for Donovan. Denny looks in and delivers. First pitch, check swing. Did he go around? Yes, says first base umpire.
John Bullock.
Counts 0-1 now for Donovan. 0 for 3 so far this evening. A throw over to first, not in time to get the speedy Blomgren. Blomgren was been involved heavily on the base path so far during early play in 2020. That is a rocket shot down the third base line, but in foul territory. 0-2.
Willie Weiss was the one who had to go out and scoop up the ground balls into the outfield in the first 2 games that Michigan played here in the desert, and then Colin Tchaikovsky is the one who has to go and do them here in this game.
Well, Weiss had to make some pretty far runs, as one of them going all the way out to the corner. Had to run about 245 of the 345 feet down the line. A 0-2 pitch, swing, and a chopper over to the left side. This is picked up by Workman and thrown over to second. Called in time, but that one was close, so that will end the inning.
Yeah, I don't know about that one at second. I don't know why he threw over there. I mean, obviously he got the out, but that was a much tougher play, than the one just to first base. Pretty standard there to go down as a 5-4 fielder's choice to end the inning, and now we'll see who comes out for Michigan here to begin this bottom of the 8th. All important pitching decisions, and Jack White will head out there for another inning of work.
Jack White went 1, 2, 3, his first inning of work. In the bottom of the 7th, due up for Arizona State is Sam Nager, Drew Swift, and Spencer Torkelson.
Yeah, Michigan will have to sit down Torkelson, Williams, and Workman, or at least we'll have to face them one more time to win this game.
Actually, standing in the on-deck circle and appearing to make his way towards the batter's box is going to be another pinch hitter in the 9-hole. This is Hunter Jump, going to make his first appearance in tonight's ball game. He was a JUCO transfer for Arizona State. Out of Viejo, California. At Central Arizona Community College, he was one of the offensive standouts on that squad that went on to win the 2019 National Junior College Association Division I World Series Championship and was named the World Series MVP. Went 12 for 22 in that series with 9 RBIs. Logged 17 doubles last season with 4 homers and led the team with a .333 batting average, recording 31 RBIs and a .415 on-base percentage.
Well, he'll get the first crack to start the bottom of the 8th, as Jack White got a 1, 2, 3, 7th, but a couple long fly balls in that inning.
First pitch from White to jump, check swing, in the zone anyway. Strike 1. Jump the lefty, facing the lefty White. The 0-1 breaking ball dives back into the zone, 0-2.
A really nice pitch there called strike on the outer edge. And now White's got some room to work with against the pinch hitter.
Jump in the 0-2 hole. Trying to claw back into this game for Arizona State. The 0-2 skips in the dirt. Donovan not able to make the block, but
made a good effort.
Yeah.
He fell down onto his side.
Looked like a dead fish.
Yep.
The 1-2 offering from White. Fastball swung on and chopped into left field. That'll get down for a base hit. Hunter Jump is aboard.
Yeah,
that is the first base hit that is given up by Jack White.
That one just caught too much of the plate to be in a 2-strike count. And Jump able to poke that one into left field.
And they are going to bring on a pinch runner for Jump. That's number 35, Sean McLean, freshman out of Tustin, California.
Ben Kaiser is officially warming up in the Michigan bullpen. We saw him for 2 big innings last night.
First pitch to Drew Swift is a called strike on the outside edge. Swift so far in this ball game 0 for 3. His last time up, he lifted a ball in a deep center field, but a great play made by Wogu kept at least 2 runs off the board. 0-1, swinging a chopper over to short, flip over to second. Now the relay to first in time. A 6-4-3 double play, just what the doctor ordered for the Wolverines.
That is huge. Pretty standard double play ball. Nice sidearm flip there from Blomgren over to the second baseman, Bertram, who gets the relay to Schmidt. And now just like that, 2 outs in the inning, and they can face Torkelson with nobody aboard and 2 outs in the frame.
Spencer Torkelson, considered by many to be the #1 pick in the upcoming 2020 MLB draft, now enters the batter's box for what could be the final time tonight. First pitch from White, swing and a high fly ball into shallow right field, starting to tail into foul territory, and it drops after being misplayed by the first baseman Schmidt, so Torkelson will get a second life.
Yeah, Schmidt overran that one, and it just dropped into the side of him. And yeah, Torkelson will get another crack at it. But again, that double play so huge, nobody on base.
Torkelson heads back to home plate, picks up his bat, and try it again. Aliko Williams waiting on deck if necessary for ASU. White looks in, now delivers the 0-1, check swing, called strike. 0-2 the count for Torkelson.
Now ahead is White. We'll see what he goes to. He left a pitch over the plate to Jump in a similar situation a couple batters ago. Can't do that here.
Counts 0-2 to Torkelson. Breaking ball just outside.
Jack
76.
Blomgren thought that was strike 3. He came running towards the Michigan dugout and then had to hold up.
Sweeping curveball at 76 miles an hour. Just couldn't find the zone, according to home plate umpire Travis Reniger. Swing and a foul back by Torkelson. Count will stay at 1-2. Everybody in this stadium donning maroon and gold, hoping that Spencer Torkelson can just get a piece of this baseball and put it in play. A 1-2 swing and a deep drive to left field. This one is well hit, but getting under it was Zimmerman, and he'll make a play on the run.
Yeah, that one died a few steps in front of the track, and it'll retire the side.
That will end the 8th inning, and we'll head to the final frame here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Still 3-0 Wolverines on top over the Sun Devils.
Michigan now through 8 innings have kept Arizona State scoreless, allowing just 4 hits. Sun Devils have left 5 on, a hit in that inning, none left. I mean, this has been masterful pitching so far from the Wolverines, and look at that. A lot of Sun Devils fans streaming for the exits.
Yeah, it's trying to beat the traffic here with facing a 3-0 deficit. Also doesn't help that it's approaching the 50s here in the Valley of the Sun.
Yeah, getting chillier here. Wolverines 3 outs to get. But first they'll have a couple more batters up to get one more chance tack on some insurance before they try and close it out.
It'll still be Cam Denny on the mound for ASU. No reason to go to the bullpen yet, as Denny is sitting at 25 pitches so far in tonight's matchup.
Well, Denny's done a pretty good job since coming in for Benson, and they need one more strong inning from him.
Leading off the inning for the Wolverines will be Matt Schmidt, the first baseman. He's 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Denny has 1K to his credit, and that came to lead off last inning. First pitch to Schmidt's a breaking ball that finds the zone. 0-1. Wind up in the pitch, and another inside edge called strike 2. New arm up and warming up for ASU. It's Bryce Bennett, number 32, warming up in the right field bullpen. Denny comes set. Kicks and delivers a fastball that is deposited into left field, but getting under it is Harver, and that ball died short of the warning track.
Schmidt got a good contact there, but both teams just running out of gas as these balls approach the warning track. Tough break for Schmidt.
There goes the balls are juice theory.
Yeah.
Had a lot of flyouts to the outfield this game. A strong contact, just not a lot of runs to show for it. But we do have one long ball. Michigan is now homered in 2 of their first 3 games here in 2020. First pitch is a inside-out swing that just stays fair down the third base line. Flip over to first, not in time. Riley Bertram able to quickly speed down the first base path and get to the bag before Gage Workman could make the barehanded play.
Now that was almost a highlight reel play from Gage Workman. Bare hand throw across the diamond, and Bertram beat it out by a half step for the infield single.
Well, that'll bring up Clark Elliott. It's 1 for 3 so far tonight.
Back up in the Michigan pen is Keaton Caratini.
And we're going to have a mound visit here for Arizona State. But ASU trying to just keep this game within striking distance. Put up 4 hits, have 1 error assessed to them, but no runs to show for any of the offense that they put up. 3 runs and 7 hits with no errors for Michigan. So far, things have been pretty dull in the back part of this game.
Well, that's the way Michigan likes it. You get the lead and then just put it in cruise control.
As ASU's mound visit is completed. Denny having a final word with Drew Swift. We are ready to resume action here with Clark Elliott heading into the batter's box. The righty Denny looks in, now delivers the first pitch, breaking ball, called strike 1. We mentioned earlier in the broadcast Michigan will play UConn tomorrow to complete its trip in the desert. ASU will resume its series with Villanova tomorrow here at home. And that is a hot shot ripped into right field, and that is a base hit for Clark Elliott.
Man.
The throw in to the infield was Denson to keep Bertram at second. But 2 on and 1 away here for the Wolverines.
Clark Elliott now 4 for 11 to begin his freshman campaign at Michigan. He has been a really pleasant surprise. Was not even mentioned on the first episode of a podcast to be named later, but he's going to be this week, and he looks to be securing himself a starting role in the outfield in his first season.
Denny requests a new baseball and is awarded one. 2 on, 1 away here in the top of the 9th inning. In what is a fairly cleared out Phoenix Municipal Stadium, and they're going to go to the bullpen. As coming out for Arizona State, we will see who it is. Alex has stolen my binoculars. Thank you, good sir. As Cam Denny's night is done, 2 innings of work, 2 hits. Does have both runners on base that would be charged to him should anything happen in this inning. 1 K and 1 walk on 31 pitches facing 9 batters.
I will say that's a pretty nice first outing for Cam Denny, and between Denny and Benson, looks like Skip might have some pitchers to work with, young freshman arms.
Yeah, and this definitely a pleasant surprise for Arizona State, as that was just really an issue for them last season, facing injuries and then just a short rotation of trusty arms, showing a bullpen that potentially has some promise with some young talent is definitely a good sign for Tracy Smith. It is going to be the new arm in for Arizona State is Bryce Barnett, number 32. The freshman.
Oh, Barnett just fell off the mound on that warm-up pitch.
Of Lockport, Illinois. Well, we did see a balk earlier with a slippage on the mound back at Salt River Fields.
Well, it'll be Zimmerman ready to stride in for Michigan, and boy, he has had himself a night. Homer, double, and a fly out to dead center that came about 5 feet short of the wall. He's been just pounding the ball today.
Bryce Barnett, freshman in his senior year in high school, was named to the Chicago Tribune's top 25 players in Illinois. And during his senior year, allowed more than 2 runs in just 1 start, finishing with a 2.47 ERA and 68 strikeouts. We will see what he has in the tank in his first action as an Arizona State Sun Devil. As like you said, Danny Zimmerman, who's had himself a whale of a night, will step up to the plate for the Michigan Wolverines with 2 on and 1 out.
This has really been the story of Michigan's weekend, and the unsung heroes, Clark Elliott, Danny Zimmerman tonight, Matt Schmidt last night, Blake Beers in the game this afternoon. Guys that either were quite bad last year or just didn't play have come up big for the Wolverines, and I mean obviously Hadger tonight in his first start.
First pitch to Zimmerman, it's a called strike on a good breaking ball that breaks back into the zone after tailing towards the right-handed batter. The 0-1 delivery, fastball in the dirt at 91 miles an hour, taken for ball 1.
2 runners on and 1 out in the top of the ninth. Michigan trying to get some big insurance runs before they go out to close this game out.
Long look in here from Barnett, who now comes set, kicks and delivers the 1-1. Fastball, called strike, up in the zone.
Yeah, right at the letters there. Zimmerman didn't like it. thought he was going to be ahead in the count.
Counts 1-2 with 1 away and 2 on here for Michigan in the top of the 9th inning. They have had a lot of magic happen in the 9th inning of these past 2 games.
Had 2 on Friday night.
Had a couple of hits in today's earlier game in the top of the 9th, as that fastball gets away from the catcher momentarily, and it's enough for both runners to advance 90 feet. Now both in scoring position, as Sam Ferry wasn't able to corral that ball that skipped in front of him.
That wasn't a super hard ball to stop. The issue for Ferry was it got him in the noggin. He got in decent position to block it, and then it took a big hop up, hit him in the face, and you could tell he was just dazed there for a second as the mask came off and wasn't able to get to it. Both runners quickly moving up, and now 2 in scoring position. The infield will come in with 2 strikes.
2-2, breaking ball, called strike 3. Beautiful pitch. Coming in at 75 miles an hour. Will retire Zimmerman for the second out of the inning.
That's a huge, huge strikeout there. Zimmerman's been punishing the ball, and if he had put another one into the outfield, it would be 4-0. Instead, it's still 3-0. And we might have a pinch hitter here, and we will.
Number 13 walking up to the batter's box for Michigan.
13 is Dominic Clementi, so he is available. We thought he might be banged up given that he was removed from the early game and then didn't start here tonight for Zimmerman, but maybe Bakich just really likes Zimmerman, and to be honest, it paid off here in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. So far, a lot of good decisions being made from Bakich. We talked about on the last night's game, should they remove Matt Schmidt in that late appearance, and thank God he didn't.
You got to stick with your guys.
First pitch to Clementi, inside and low for ball 1.
If you have a lineup and then you bend to popular opinion, not a very good manager.
That's the truth. That's why they get paid the big bucks.
And we get paid 0.
Because we just talk about it and or judge the decisions after they happen. 1-0 swing and a hot shot down the right field line. That one's going to get all the way into the corner. 1 run comes in to score. Now a second one comes in to score, and going all the way to second. Now rounding second before heading back is Clementi. Nobody was covering the second base bag, so he was able to get back easily. And a 2-run double for Dominic Clementi blows this game open. It's 5-0 Wolverines.
Big, big double right there for Clementi. He laces that one down the line, pull hitter and the lefty there. And now 5-0 Michigan can feel a lot better about this bottom of the 9th as Ted Burton stands in.
So just like that, Michigan has taken a firm grasp on this ball game with 2 away here in the top of the 9th. And that first pitch misses high, buzzes the tower at 92 miles an hour. Having to duck out of the way was Ted Burton. Again, I'd say a pretty good decision from Bakich. Put Clementi in the ball game. The 1-0, another fastball, this time just inside. 2-0 the count now for Ted Burton. Now both of those runs were charged to Cam Denny, so his line is now complete. 2 innings of work, 2 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Barnett looks in and delivers. This one misses high. 3-0 the count now.
Now looks like someone going to start warming up again for ASU.
Got to get the emergency arm out there. Looks like number 4 once again, which would be Luke Laflamme. The 3-0 pitch, and that one misses inside. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to Ted Burton, flips the order for the scariest leadoff man in college baseball.
Yeah, there you go.
Jordan Wogu 1 for 3 with a walk so far tonight, and a brief mound visit here between Drew Swift, Sam Ferry, and Bryce Barnett. Blake Barnett was a former transfer from Alabama at quarterback to Arizona State, but never got the starting job, so he then transferred to the University of South Florida.
Well, nobody even standing up there outside of a coach in the Michigan bullpen, so it looks like it'll be Jack White's game to finish off.
And why not?
White so far has thrown 24 pitches.
First pitch, swing and a foul back from Wogu, 0-1. Barnett looks in, kicks and delivers the 0-1 breaking ball. Called strike on the inside edge, fluttering in at 73 miles an hour.
A nice comeback pitch. Now ahead 0-2. Can Barnett get out of this inning? Already has taken some hits here.
Wogu awaits the 0-2 offering after the long look in from Barnett. Righty comes set, looks back, now delivers the 0-2 swing and a ball that is flying out into right field, but straight at Miles Denson, and he will make the play for the final out. Michigan's able to tack on 2 more here in the final frame at Phoenix Municipal Stadium. They extend their lead to 5 on 9 hits. It's a 5-0 ball game, and Arizona State is facing a massive hole they're going to try to climb out, as for some reason the fight song is playing here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium.
The Michigan dugout and bullpen will go out for one last extracurricular activities as they're getting ready to close it down here. And some more fans pile out of this stadium just past 9:10 here, Mountain Standard Time in Phoenix. This has been a very tidy and quick game. Michigan would like to keep it that way as Jack White will go out to finish it off. He came in to start the 7th. He's through 2 innings, 24 pitches, just 1 hit allowed. Been very good so far. He's going to have to go through Alika Williams, Gage Workman, and Nate Baez, but it feels a lot better to do that with a 5-run cushion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, having a chance to really demonstrate to your team what you have in Jack White is truly invaluable as well, because he has been absolutely stellar so far here tonight, trying to get his 3rd inning of work and wrap up this ball game on what would be an incredible weekend for Michigan baseball.
They've still got another game tomorrow morning against UConn, but this alone would be a pretty darn nice start to the 2020 campaign.
There is literally nobody else in the country as of right now, or as of the end of this weekend, truth be told, that can have the resume of Michigan should this result hold of 2 wins over top 3 teams.
My mother just texted me, is Arizona State good at baseball?
Well, historically speaking, they are actually arguably the best program in the country. As of the past decade, it's been a bit of a rough stretch.
They're supposed to be this year.
But they are definitely one of the more talented teams in the nation, as the first pitch to Alika Williams misses high. Hey, and just remember, whenever you and I are on the call, it's never over until it's over.
Well, these past 2 bottom of the 9ths have been stressful for Michigan.
Definitely don't want to get into a situation to where potentially, I mean, it would take a lot, but potentially Torkelson could get back to the back to the plate.
Yeah, that takes a while.
Take about as much as it could possibly take. Count 2-0 for Williams as White winds and sets. 2-0 is a fastball on the inside edge, called a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, last night, Page got the first 2 outs because of great defensive plays. Then he put 3 on, a single and 2 hit by pitches, got out of the inning with a fly out to center. Today, ran into issues, did Angelo Smith in the 9th.
2-1, fastball misses just high. 3-1 the count now for Williams.
Smith gave up a homer, a couple singles, hit by pitch. 2 of them, in fact, in that 9th inning. Finally got yanked with the bases loaded and 2 outs, 3-1 lead, and Weston got the final out.
As that one misses outside, ball 4. So Aliko Williams with a leadoff walk, trying to keep Arizona State's hopes alive.
And now someone back up for Michigan in the bullpen and pull out the binoculars.
Aliko Williams had 9 stolen bases last season. Wouldn't be shocked to potentially see them be a little aggressive on the base paths here, facing a big hole. First pitch to Workman, swing and a chopper right back up the middle. This will be caught by Bauer. Now over to first in time. It's a 6-4-3 double play. Blomgren to Bertram to Schmidt. And just like that, 2 down.
Well, that is music to Jack White's ears. He's now produced 2 6-4-3 double plays in as many innings. It looked like Ben Kaiser up in the bullpen. Now he's immediately stopped throwing with that play right there. And Michigan now 1 out away from closing this out as more fans head for the exits.
Nate Baez now representing the final hope for Arizona State. First pitch fastball misses high, 1-0. Baez 0 for 3 in tonight's action. A 1-0 pitch, fastball misses just high. 2 balls, no strikes. So about that kidnapping threat that you made if they went undefeated. The 2-0. Breaking ball inside edge, called strike 1. The 2-1. Swing and a fly ball into right field, having to make a long run and a diving play, but he can't haul it in. Is the right fielder Elliott. Now the throw in isn't in time to second, so that will be.
I think you could give him a double there. That's a tough play. I mean, Elliott, I don't think he took the best route to it, but
I don't think that's an error, that's for sure.
He made a sliding effort and just couldn't come up with it. I think they'll give him a double there, and they will.
A 2-out double for Nate Baez brings on Trevor Hauver.
Again, big to get that double play, erase the base runner.
Absolutely.
Now the second hit surrendered by White.
Williams would have 100% gotten home had that double play not been turned. The first pitch to Hauver is a fastball that misses high, ball 1.
Michigan trying to shut out Arizona State here tonight with a 5-0 lead. They need 1 more out from Jack White. He's at 35 pitches.
And that should be music to Wolverines fans' ears, shutting out one of the most potent lineups in all of college baseball. The 1-0 breaking ball dives back into the zone at 73 miles an hour, 1-1.
A shutout of Arizona State would mean that Michigan is 1 run better at pitching than Villanova is, so.
That's cold. These are Michigan airwaves, so I'll allow it. A 1-1, another breaking ball, this one just outside. 2-1 the count. Jack White looks in. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away with a runner on second. He delivers a breaking ball high above the zone, ball 3. Waiting on deck if necessary is the catcher Sam Ferry. So we have some more action in the Michigan bullpen. should things start to get out of hand for Jack White. The 3-1, and that one's high and inside, ball 4.
Yeah, Kaiser out there for Michigan, back up and warming. He's been warming up at different points. This might be the situation where you just bring him in to get that final out, because White, now at almost 40 pitches, seems to be just coming a little unglued as he's gotten deeper into this outing. And not a bad moment to just come in, bring someone out. Well, Chris Fetter will come talk.
And perhaps just try to give Kaiser a couple more pitches in the pen. Luckily for Michigan, that 5-run cushion allows them to allow a grand slam and still have the lead. So, game still well within their grasp right now.
And it's a really good outing from White so far. He's just run into a bit of issue here, but you want to get this game over with before you flip to the top of the lineup. Still 3 batters away from that happening, but
yeah, hadn't had a walk until this inning, where he now has 2. 39 pitches, giving up 1 double. That is only one of the 2 hits that he has surrendered so far. Still has a blank slate. As another arm is running out into the Michigan bullpen. That looks like number 29 or 25. It's hard to see from here. The first pitch to Sam Ferry is a called strike. 0-1. White looks at his wristband. Now we'll step back onto the rubber and check into Donovan behind the plate, giving him signs. The 0-1 pitch misses just low and away. That'll even the count.
You'd love White to be able to get this last out, close the game without a further pitching change. You can save Kaiser for tomorrow. You'd probably have Page starting. Weston would be decently fresh. Caratini, this would just be what you want. Get this game over with.
The 1-1 swing and a high pop-up. Hanging around just behind the back, in front of the backstop, and Donovan can't make the catch. It goes right off of his glove. And that will keep ASU alive for now. Ferry, the fellow catcher, thought about picking up Donovan's mask, but decided not to.
Yep, Donovan inches away from ending this game. That's a tough ball. That one went way high into the sky, and he tracked it well all the way right up in front of the netting. Just couldn't haul it in, but now White is 1 strike away.
Counts 1-2 with 2 away. Michigan fans are clapping as they're hoping to see another win over a top 3 team. Called strike 3. This ball game's over, and the Michigan Wolverines have 2 wins over top 3 teams in the nation here in the opening weekend of 2020.
And Michigan continues their dominant desert tour, 3-0 on the season, and they will head back to Scottsdale tomorrow to take on UConn and try to make it 4-0 on the opening weekend. But they've collected their second top 5 win of the weekend, and this Michigan team proving its mettle early on.
Yeah, so far, Michigan dominating pitching and dominating defensively. And now the offense is starting to come alive each of these last 2 games. Wolverine fans certainly have a lot to be excited about with this team going forward in 2020. And you mentioned it yesterday and even earlier this afternoon. This team has the talent to potentially host a regional. So,
yeah, and they've built a decent resume so far, collecting these 2 wins, and they'll get an opportunity to collect some more against UConn tomorrow and the next weekend, as UConn was a pretty solid team last year as well. But Michigan has passed the early test. They shut out this dangerous ASU offense. Pitching looks good. Timely hitting looks good. Firing on all cylinders right now.
Well, one final time from Phoenix Municipal Stadium. The Wolverines 5, the Sun Devils nothing. Thank you so much for tuning in to WCBN Sports and our coverage of Michigan baseball here in early action in 2020.
Yeah, it's been a really fun weekend for the Michigan Wolverines. We will not have tomorrow morning's game against UConn, but Once again, Michigan baseball will be back on WCBN Sports on March the 13th against Canisius at the Wilpon Complex. You can tune in to podcast to be named later on WCBN Sports Radio's SoundCloud channel as we will continue to track Michigan baseball here in the early season while they continue to tour the West and East Coast. But until then, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I think I got
You're
this.
raising your hand there.
I think I got this one.
Okay.
All I'm going to say is that this has been a very fun time. Thank you for having me on. Let's do this again in June. I think that works for both of our schedules. And until then, good night and go blue.